Namaste, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be across the planet, around the world. My name is Greg Prescott from in5d.com, and you're tuned into another Spirit Chat where I'll be opening up our Zoom chat room in a couple minutes for anyone who wants to join. Before we get going, a few things I'm going to be talking about. The first thing is, a lot of people have been looking into perhaps silver or gold, and those would probably be the preferred if you're going to invest in anything. Precious metals, definitely invest in those. But I was noticing today that typically gold has a 50-to-1 ratio with the silver, and it's pushing the 100-to-1 ratio right now, which means silver is seriously undervalued. If you have the money, go out and buy silver. And all these experts are saying, oh, buy gold. No, buy silver. It's crazy. I was watching, I forgot who it was. It might have been Bill Holter in an interview with Greg Hunter. And he was saying, I believe it was him, he was saying that there's as much physical silver on this planet as there is physical gold. And because they use so much in electronics and all, that it'll probably go quicker than the actual gold that we have. So in more ways than one, if you have the income where you can do it, go out and buy silver. I wish I could. I don't have the income. But if I did, that's what I would get. Yes, Shy One. Silver is cheap now. Buy. Yeah, it's like $16.80. In the meanwhile, gold is like 1,600 and pushing $1,680, 100 times the amount of silver. So yeah, if you have the means to do so, yeah, go out and buy silver. Thank me later. I want to talk about the energies that we've had. Yesterday was another intense day. And I don't know, what we noticed on our last Spirit Chat was that predominantly the men were getting really, really drained and needing to sleep. And the women were amped up and had a hard time sleeping. Now, this isn't 100% steadfast on either side, but there was a definite trend with the males and the females. And once again, yesterday, I was in bed by 8:30. And I fell asleep quickly. I did wake up at 1:30, but I fell asleep again until like 10:30, 11:30 this morning, something like that. I ended up getting like 15 hours sleep, which is highly unusual for me. I don't usually sleep that long, nor do I go to bed at 8:30 or sleep until 11:30 in the afternoon, or the morning rather. So highly, highly unusual. These energies are affecting people differently. I'm curious, how are these energies affecting you? Are you getting really, really tired? Are you male, female? If you're male and really tired, that fits the pattern, but not, like I said, not everyone is fitting this pattern. So like I said, the females are staying up. They're having a harder time sleeping. They're more energetic right now. And us guys, we're like, man, I need to sleep. But of course, we're both doing our work on each side of the veil. With us guys, we're going over to Dreamland, and we're working over there while the ladies are holding space for us here in our third dimensional reality. And it's kind of unfortunate because there are some women that I've talked to that said, I would love to get some sleep, but I can't. I'm super tired and I would love to get sleep, but for some reason, you have to stay up. I'm sorry. It's just the way it is. Bear with me here. So yeah, other people are noticing the same thing. Very interesting. Had a dream Well, I don't have it in front of me. It's in the bedroom. I wrote a check for to myself on Valentine's Day. I wrote a check for $100 million. Figure, why not? I'll play the lottery and see if I can win 100 million. But what was weird is that I had a dream last night where I was given 100 million. And what did I do with it? I basically gave it all away. And when I was just about out of money, they said, here's another 100 million. And they said, it's unlimited. You can give away as much as you want. And I thought, well, that's really cool. Because that's all I did with it. I just gave it away to other people. I don't remember one thing I bought for myself with 100 million. Nothing. But one other thing I want to talk about too is that whole thing with Corey Feldman last night. Apparently he had a pay-per-view to expose pedophiles in the music industry. And it was a complete flop. Apparently they were hacked, allegedly, by the Wolf Pack. I hate when people do this with the little quotation marks. But that's what they did. And I ended up doing a little bit more research into it. And I think he's full of shit. I hate to say it, and I feel especially bad for, those people that have gone through this child abuse. Originally, at one point, he wanted $10 million to expose all these people. And remember Isaac Cappy? He came on and said, screw that. I'll tell you guys for free who these pedophiles are. Of course, we know what happened to Isaac Cappy. But that's just one of the flags that came up with Corey Feldman. I saw this video also where he was a huge Hillary Clinton supporter, and Hillary's pure evil. And it's like everybody in the Hollywood industry was pro Hillary. So that was a red flag as well. So Linda, I'm talking about Corey Feldman. He had a pay-per-view last night. You paid $20 and he was going to name all these names, but it ended up being a total disaster. I don't think most of the people were able to even see it, as the feed got cut off from being hacked, allegedly. So yeah, I think he's full of it, honestly. It's too bad, because there are people that are being abused, child actors, pedophiles in Hollywood that should have been named. There should have been a dozen names that he could have pulled out of a hat, but he didn't do shit, basically. So it was all for the love of money. I drew some cards, some oracle cards. And the first one we're going to do is the Spirit Messages Daily Guidance Oracle Deck by John Holland. I drew the card before I came on with the intention that this is the best card for our group. So the card that I drew is called Have Fun. What a great card, right? So stop. When was the last time you had fun? When was the last time you took a chance and did something silly, something totally unlike you, something just for the joy of it? It's long overdue for you to let go of your analytical mind and give yourself and your soul permission to have fun, which is a great card for me. I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm pretty sure that's a great card for you too, but especially for anyone who is overworks. I'm a workaholic. So if you're a workaholic, get out and have fun, ground, have fun, get outside, walk away from work. The next card I have is from the Goddess Guidance Oracle cards. And this one is Sedna. infinite supply. So this card says, you are supplied for today and all of your tomorrow. Tomorrows, plural. So from this point forward, abundance. This is an abundant universe filled with more than enough for everyone. Yet the energy format of this planet is about polarities. In this instance, it's about giving and receiving. The key is to balance the two. If you only give, you'll feel drained, resentful, and experience lack. If you only receive, you won't enjoy what you have. Balance comes from fearlessly giving as you're guided, and then receiving with joy and gratitude. It's exactly like breathing. Both the inhale and the exhale are identically important. Practice giving and receiving daily, and you'll never want for anything. Beautiful card. So in my dream, I kept giving and giving, and I got more to give away. But like I said, I didn't do anything for myself. So I think that's a message within itself. It wasn't necessarily about the money. It was about that I need to do more for me because I keep giving. And many of us, it's not just me, it's just about everyone in this genre. Most of us are service to others people. And what we do is we constantly give. We're give, give, give. It's easy to do. You know, if somebody needs a helping hand, we're usually out there, the first ones to reach a hand out to somebody to help them. Yet many of us have a hard time asking for help. I'm one of those people. So just a reminder, if you enjoy these broadcasts, I'd encourage you to stop by and visit us on in5d.net and to check out the quantum tie-dye shirts that we have. I'll be making the chakra shirts this week. They should be up and uploaded to in5d.net by the weekend. So I'll be doing that. But it's a great way to help support the channel because we're getting severely screwed by Facebook, heavily shadow banned. And, you know, this is a wonderful way that you can help support in5D through the purchase of one of these shirts that have all this amazing energy in it. These shirts have the 99.9% quartz crystal sand infused into the dye. So you're getting the energy of that. You're also getting Ho'oponopono put into these shirts, as well as positive thoughts and intentions. If you haven't seen it yet, I just put out a video on the process that I do making these shirts, especially the chakra shirts that are coming up. So I do all that with the chakra shirts. Plus, I have the chakra stones inside the dye as well. So the chakra shirts are going to be super, super powerful. They're going to be coming out, like I said, by this weekend. Also, another way that you can help support us here on in5D, if you like these kind of Zoom chats that we're having, is to join us on Patreon. And there's various different tiers. At 111, you can get alerted every time we have these kind of chats. If you're not on Facebook, this is a great way of doing it. You also are listed on the wall of gratitude, and you can comment on any of these videos that we have on our Patreon page. At $5.55, you get all that, plus ad-free articles, and the Insiders Club private chat on Zoom, which is held on the first Wednesday of every month. And at 11:11, you get all that, plus the exclusive Afterthoughts video and the mid-month energy report video, which is coming up here in about 3 or 4 days. So you get that at the 11:11, and there's all sorts of different levels you can join, but those are the main ones. So if you, like I said, if you enjoy this kind of format and you'd like to help support us here on in5D, it's greatly appreciated. So thank you. As a matter of fact, I just had, while I was logging on, I saw there was an order for t-shirt. Oh, Deanna. Okay. So Deanna, if you're out there listening, you're in the United States, so I'll have it mailed out tomorrow morning. Awesome. So yeah. And whoever else ordered today, they'll be going out first thing in the morning. So I'm excited for you guys. To me, it's like Christmas. I feel like Santa. Oh, just giving away shirts. This is great. It's wonderful that the energies of these shirts are going all over the world. I just sent one out to Australia today, which reminds me, those people that are overseas, if you're going to order, you better order soon, because I'm going to have to bump up the flat rate. It costs, gosh, over $20, almost $21 to send a shirt to Australia, and I'm only charging $15. So if you're going to order, better order them soon if you're overseas, because I do have to raise the flat rate on the shipping. So sorry about that, but hey, post office just jacked their rates, so I have no control over that. Okay, let's see what else. Oh, the last thing is I drew a tarot card for us, and it's the Seven of Wands, which is interesting because I did a reading for a friend of mine, and this card came up for her as well. So what we're looking at on the Seven of Wands is we have this dude on top of the hill, and he's trying to fend off everybody down here. He's got these challengers coming up, right? But he's overcoming the obstacles of what he's facing. Because he is on top as well, it's the metaphor of you will end up on top of the situation that you're in right now. You'll end up being victorious, and you stand up for what you believe in. And as you can see, he's on top. He's winning despite numerous adversaries. He's on top and he's winning. So that's where we are. The adversaries are, the poisoning our air, water, food supply. We have the mainstream media, all this crap that's coming on against us, but we're on top and we're going to win. So it's a beautiful card to have drawn. So with all that being said, I'm going to unmute the chat room, and you guys are welcome.
Hey, so you saying that just confirmed everything that I've been going through this week. I changed my name on here. I made a new Facebook page because I'm being attacked on my regular Facebook, because I posted on Facebook saying, okay, so today I went to Walmart and I went and got, most of you on here know this, you saw the post. I see you, Diana. Sure, Gary saw it too, he was laughing. But I went to Walmart, the toilet paper was gone, the tissues were gone, and the Lysol was gone. And I made a post about it saying, you guys are part of the problem. It's fake. The news is making it out there to be fake. And I got attacked by my loved ones. And so everybody's mad at me, and I'm kind of emotional about it because, I'm really awake.
What the hell's wrong with you? I'm just kidding.
Exactly. And they're like, oh, well, you're going to eat your words because this is what is really happening. And I went to the laundromat today, and there's the news crying about, oh yeah, we got everything shut down and kids are dying out here. And I'm like, are you serious? So it's like, it's like a really big anger for me coming up, because I had to make a whole new Facebook and a whole new name because I'm personally getting attacked by these non-awakened people. So I'm just letting you all know I changed my name. So if anybody needs to friend me on Facebook, this is my name on Facebook. Okay.
We have toilet paper. We have water here in Sarasota. People aren't panicking like they are elsewhere.
It was in Illinois because we got a couple cases in Illinois apparently. And now everybody's freaking out. And I'm like, all you need to do is work on your heart energy and your throat energy. So shoved in. Oh and now everybody is like freaking out. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm kind of angry over this.
I say let them freak out, because there's some really, really, really good stuff fixing to happen on Thursday. I really think everybody on tune into the Cash Foundation meeting that's going to happen Thursday with the world leaders.
It just makes me sad.
Yeah,
Because
it does.
people are projecting their energy, and it just makes me really sad that people believe in this stuff, and then you try to spread the love and light, and these people are just sending their energy into it, and it just makes me really sad for the earth and everybody. But you know, it's just maybe I'm
We're
just
gonna
so
win.
empathic, but like Greg, it hit home with me when you said that. So
We're gonna win.
On top. We're gonna come out on top.
We're gonna win.
Yeah.
We're winning.
but I'm just letting you guys know,
Quit
you know, I
panicking.
changed my
Take a deep
Facebook
breath
with it,
and
so,
believe in yourself.
but I changed my
sound
Facebook
panicked.
just
You
so you guys
sound like
know,
you're crying,
and
man.
this is just really hard on me with everything going on. It's just, I can't believe people think this is true, and it's crazy because I don't understand
it is true, and it is happening, but it's not the pandemic that they're making it out to be.
I know, I was running down the aisles, like walking down the aisles in Walmart saying, we're all gonna die, the apocalypse is sorry, I can make a joke of it, but it hits my heart space, that's all.
Repent!
So, I'm just letting you know, it hits my heart space, so.
I'm enjoying.
What's that noise I hear?
Somebody's munching.
Sounds like, yeah, somebody's eating like Cheetos or something. I don't know.
I'm sorry. I didn't know I was unmuted. I had muted myself. I'm just about to enjoy my dinner of tofu pad thai, spring rolls, and nice Thai soup because, you know, I'm treating myself. I had a great day today, and like you say, I'm raising my vibration by having some of my favorite stuff, you know. And anyway, I'm sorry, guys. I didn't know I was doing that. I apologize again. Go ahead, talk amongst yourselves. I'm hungry. I gotta eat.
Right.
Sorry.
I'll mute you. All right. Okay.
Can I say something real quick?
No,
I made
we're gonna continue on. No, I'm kidding.
I made the one. I started the One Cup One Life project yesterday.
Okay.
And I made up a whole. Oh man, it worked up fast, and there's a lot of GANs in there, but that's not what I wanted to talk about. I dipped my finger in the amino acids. My cat has got he's really a bad cat. He's got major allergies. Okay. And he loves it outside. So he's constantly got sinus issues.
Did you change your last name? I'm sorry did you change your last name on here?
Mm-hmm. Apparently it got changed. That is me.
Okay. Continue.
Anyway, I dipped my finger in the amino acids on the top and I touched it to my cat's nose. His head is clear.
Huh.
And it's been like a half hour.
Okay.
So, I mean, the One Cup One Life is not just for the coronavirus. It's a healing water. And hey, if we can use it to get this healing water out, which is what the Cash Foundation is trying to do. Hey, you got a virus out there? Look, y'all want to listen to this or you can die. And that's pretty much what they're doing with it. They, you know, Iran was hit hard, right? With the virus. And the Cash Foundation is healing Iran with the waters. And now they got all of the testimonies from it and the evidence and the numbers and everything like that. And that's going to be presented on Thursday. And I'll post the link in the chat or something.
Yeah.
So that everybody can attend and actually hear what the world leaders are saying and how and whatever's going on. I don't know
if you can post it on the YouTube chat, so it'll be permanent there.
Okay. All right. But I think everybody it'll probably be a long thing, you know, because today I sat and I listened for 5 hours. Okay. But at least listen to a little bit of it and see what they got to say. It's my advice, you know. Okay. All right. I'll do that. I'll post it on.
YouTube. What's going on, Phil?
Well, yeah, so interesting synchronicity today. If you add up the numbers of today, March 10th, 2020, that comes up to 17. And when I check the human power on human resonance today disclosure, the power was 17. So 17 is the number 8. 8 is about balancing as above, so below, or your spiritual with the material. So yeah, I would say today's balance. And then I drew the Knight of Discs and the Bear cards, plus Soul. So kind of a jovial energy, I would say, today. And we had sunshine here in Western Washington. That's a rarity.
Right? Right. Yeah, you had me, once you said 17, you had me checking qmap.pub. I figured, okay.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about 17 being Q.
Right. So I was curious. I'm like, all right, maybe we got some big drop going on.
Well, I don't know. I haven't checked that. I don't follow that a whole lot, Greg. I just have to say it's.
You don't have to. No one has to, honestly. There's just a hand. I follow it because, I know that a lot of people are going to be waking up through the Q movement, and eventually they're going to question things that we've all questioned in our spiritual awakening. So we're going to be there for them on N5D, and with a welcoming hand.
Yeah,
So,
no, I mean, for me, it's just a little hard for me to verify that stuff.
Yeah.
With my visual limitation. This is what
okay.
And what they say is questionable enough that I think it needs to be verified.
I think it will. I mean, there's tons of Q proofs that they have. So more than what could be coincidence, I think. So, I'll just leave it at that. It's fun to follow. If people want to follow, it's great.
Yeah, I've heard this. So I don't doubt what you're saying at all.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying I can't verify it. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. I can't verify it. It's beyond my capabilities.
So did anyone watch that Corey Feldman fiasco last night?
Nope.
No.
Yeah, I was in bed.
And you would think I'd be one of the ones that would, but no, I didn't watch it.
Yeah, I was in bed long before it even went off. I think he started it. Was supposed to start at 11 o'clock Pacific, I think, and which would be like 2 o'clock here. I don't know. It was some crazy time, but I was in bed at like 8:30, so I slept through the whole thing, and I didn't miss anything. Apparently, it was a bunch of crap.
I was videoing my GANs. See the setup.
So I have a question for you, Greg,
Sure.
Regarding saving these live sessions, because I went through the whole process there of trying to save I did a live for the first time today.
Yes.
And everything, I thought it was saving everything. And then when I got to the end, it wasn't there. It was just gone. I don't know where it went. So
I have it up on my YouTube feed, Phil.
Yeah, it goes automatically there, but
both of them.
Oh, yeah. So now I've got a double on there. Oh, great.
Yeah, you got a double on there.
Oh no. Well,
what happens? What I do is I'm just going to go there on my other computer. At the bottom of the page, when you're setting up your chat, there's meeting options. I always check off enable join before host. That way people can come here before me. Mute participants upon entry. And the last one is record the meeting automatically. And there's two choices. You can record it onto the cloud or onto your computer. I do it onto my computer. Because you do it onto the cloud, you're only allowed like so many gigs on there, 1 gig or something. And you can use that up on one show.
Apple Cloud is always wanting me to upgrade my cloud.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. No. So yeah, I had saved it on Zoom. So that's that's why I reposted it.
Yeah, like I said, on Zoom, you're putting it on the cloud, on Zoom's cloud, and there's not a lot of space on there. So, yeah.
Well, no, so I'm saving it to my computer.
Yeah, that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, I'll have to go back and I guess I'm gonna have to. There's something with the way I'm going in back when I go back when I'm loading that. I'm not seeing, for some reason, I'm not seeing it. That's why I did it again. My bad.
That's all right. It takes a little getting used to, but overall it's really easy to do.
Yeah. No, I didn't do the upgrade on Zoom. I just set up a live session on my Google Chrome and on Zoom at the same time.
Oh, okay.
So that's how I got around that. But
well, apparently you can do a simulcast on Facebook or YouTube. I always choose YouTube because I hate Facebook. But but I can do this Zoom on. I could do the same thing on Facebook though if I wanted to.
Right. Yeah. I still would like to upgrade my Zoom so that it's a little easier because that was kind of complicated and hard to set up to have them both go on it. You basically had two screens going at the same time, and I couldn't.
Well, I do every time I do this, I have a separate one for YouTube so I can see the comments going on YouTube.
Right. So that was my problem, is that I'd be on the one screen to see the comments on YouTube, and then I had to go back to the other one to do the screen shares. So it's like jumping around. I guess it'd be better if I had two screens.
Yeah. And also, you don't want the volume on the YouTube because you'll get that horrible feedback. They're on YouTube, they're like 5-10 seconds behind us here on Zoom.
Oh, I don't know. I hope I didn't have that. I didn't notice it.
There'll be a horrible echo otherwise.
Okay, well,
don't worry, no echo. I was on with you.
Oh, okay. Okay, good.
Don't worry, it's Karen. So
okay.
no.
Okay. Good. Thanks, Karen. Great.
You're welcome, honey.
Good to hear.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to race both of them, and I lost them all.
I'd have been on with you too, but I was at the beach. Sorry.
Oh
Well,
no! Don't be sorry for being at the beach, man. If I had
Phil
that
was
option, I would have been at the beach.
Yeah, doing a live stream from the beach. Yeah.
I was baking with you, Phil. I was baking in the kitchen with you.
Cool. Yeah, I think I will give a little bit of a heads up. Actually, I'll probably share my Zoom feed. I know how to do that part because it'd be kind of nice to have some comment coming back, or somebody could be watching the YouTube portion and passing questions to me. Something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, I've taken enough time on this thing. I don't want to.
Nice T-shirt, Greg.
Thank you. This is an older one that I made, but I need to make more like this because I really like the black that comes in with all the other colors. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, you're a good model.
Yeah, for throwing darts at, right?
No.
Oh.
No, you actually remind me a little bit of the energy. I think you have a bit of Thor energy in you. Toth or Thor, you got a little bit of that going on.
Okay, I'll take that.
Yeah.
No, I can see that. Yeah,
hey, Greg, did you have a session with Tiffany yet?
No, not yet. No.
Not yet. Okay.
Actually, what they're going to do, Joyce is going to come over on Monday, and she's going to do that reading that they can take to get a baseline. Of that there's some kind of system that they have where it just captures all your energy, and they're going to get a baseline on that, and then Tiffany's going to do the work, and then we're going to do a follow-up to see where my energy's at after.
Oh, I'm excited. Ooh,
I'm
I
hoping
want
I
to
can do.
see.
I'm hoping I can do something with my DNA. You know, I want to be that
Oh
person.
no, it's no, you can. It's easy.
Easy. No, it's
The
not.
other
No one's done it yet.
I believe again.
No,
I'm
no,
not
no,
going to
no,
buy
you-
that. I'm sorry, Karen.
oh no,
Show
I've
me
been
somebody that
doing
can
it.
teleport, and I'll
No,
say,
I've
yeah,
been
it's
doing
easy.
it. Okay, listen, you just tap yourself all open. Well, first you call in your guides and you tap yourself all open, you surrender something you're good at, you call up your DNA. This is how easy it is in this field of energy right now. I am dead serious. You
need to do it and show us how to teleport.
Call up your DNA. Well, at some point, obviously, we're going to be able to, because I have a Stargate going. So, you know, and I've heard that years ago. I've heard a couple of people over the many years say something like that. But anyway, so I didn't completely freak out when it happened. But then you call up your DNA, and then you ask. The first 2 sessions, I asked for just the DNA to be turned off that is not any longer for the highest good.
According to Tiffany, she said there isn't any DNA that's like that, because originally what I was saying in my mantra is I asked that all beneficial RNA and DNA be activated. But it didn't matter whether, because I didn't want to activate DNA that was harmful for me. But she said all DNA is beneficial. So I removed that. And now I'm just saying all beneficial.
Some people have DNA, and it's rare. It's a small percentage, but some people have DNA for cancer. It's like a 2 to 5% of certain types of cancers that do run in the DNA. So I know that because I do know that. Life experience is in the, not my family, but life experience. And so I did that the first 2 times. And then, because I did a 3 session with my husband. And then the 3rd time, I didn't do that. The energy was so strong on Sunday that I was just so blown away. So we did that, and I did a little bit of holographic memory release, and I was like, I'm cooked. I got to stop. I can't do anymore. So you can just literally call up your DNA.
Strands. You can, but
I did
to activate it completely is a whole different ball game.
No, it's not. You just
it is. Otherwise, people could teleport instantly, and nobody's teleporting yet.
Not yet, but we gotta call it up and integrate. Integration takes time. You don't integrate in seconds. You integrate.
I've been doing this for years. I think when I first came out with that article on how to activate your DNA, I started, I think 2015. So we're going on 5 years that I've been working on this, and I believe it's gonna happen eventually. But
well, I'll try it tonight, man. This energy's wild. It's so expansive.
It is pretty expensive.
It's so wild.
Maybe try it. Give it a try. It couldn't hurt.
Yeah,
right?
maybe just the fact that you believe it will happen eventually is why it doesn't happen right now.
Because it's not in the now.
Right. So stop thinking eventually and start thinking in the now.
Yeah, because
but it's already happened.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, that it's already happened. You just haven't figured it out.
Right. And I'm not giving specifics. I got to have this, this, and this. I'm giving, I'm giving it over, surrendering it. So it's already surrendered. What's supposed to be and how it's supposed to be, when it's supposed to be that. It's already done that before I called it up. So there's no like, oh, I'm not teleporting. It's just coming in. Period.
Yeah.
Now, right now. Is coming in right now.
This is interesting. I got to cut in right real quick. On YouTube, Julie is saying Hara Katsiki posted a BQH session where Dolores Cannon came through saying they're spraying the coronavirus on us with planes. Isn't that something? Also, I see Linda Winger. She says she loves her shirt. She just received her tie-dye shirt. I'm glad you got that. That was interesting. What came through that they're spraying the coronavirus on planes. Very interesting.
Or from planes, not on planes, but
Yeah,
from them.
from planes. Planes. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's been brought up on the foundation too.
Well, I think that's just to spread the fear.
Yeah,
Just
it could
bringing
be.
that stuff up. This is just a game of fear. This is a false. Well, and when I say false flag, I don't mean that there ain't falsely putting out a virus. I mean, obviously they are, or people wouldn't be getting sick. But they're relying more on the fear of it to shut everything down. This is the power.
Be afraid. Be very afraid. Be very afraid. Yeah.
No, I'm not going to be afraid. I take the counsel of the Jesuit witches. They say fear is a mind killer, so don't entertain it.
It's also really boring.
The Jesuits the Pope has got the shit.
No, the Jesuit. It's a different. This is from the Book of Doom.
Okay.
Yeah, so that Jesuit, not the.
Okay, not
Jesuits,
okay.
not the Jesuits. It's
Okay.
a different. It's with a J instead of a G instead of a J.
Okay. But yeah, I saw that today that he's got that, and I'm like, yeah, well, couldn't have happened to a better man, huh?
What did he's got the coronavirus? Well,
yeah, he couldn't even hold mass. He was coughing every 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh, he needs to take a hot bath and drink some hot tea, like Greg told us.
Right.
Right. It was hot tea with apple cider vinegar and a little bit of natural honey.
Well, Greg said it can't live in extreme heat.
That's what I heard. Yeah.
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 Hot tea is a good thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Throw some coconut oil in there too. Sure.
Yeah, I've done that too. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I heard on David Spade's program that apparently John Travolta here in Florida got the coronavirus. Well, that's what they thought, and then they found out it was just Saturday night fever.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Thanks for the laughter. That's the best thing to fight this laughter. It is.
Yeah. Anything in the love vibration. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that was the overriding message I got in my session today was love and balance. Really, that's what we need to be focused on.
Love is the easy part. Balance is the hard one.
Well, yeah, I'm blessed. I mean, I am blessed. I know I'm blessed because I'm balanced in all my planets between all of the signs, the 4 signs, and yeah. So actually, I find balance comes pretty easily. But then I'm not actually in Libra. I'm just
rub it in.
Well, it just seems like if you're in it, then it's harder to maintain it.
I wouldn't know what balance is, honestly. I'm constantly seeking it. I feel like I get close and then I just go completely over to the other side and just, it's like a teeter-totter, you know?
Mm.
Eventually.
No, I've been there, but at this point, well, I mean, it's after 30 years of the source or Reiki, the Reiki source, whatever, preaching it to me. Love and balance, love and balance, love and balance. I'm just, okay, I give up to that. I surrender to that, as you say.
You surrendered? What?
I had to. It wouldn't go away.
Oh,
Greg,
man.
do you have a water fountain or something nearby in your place?
A water fountain? No.
Yeah, something with water flowing or a little.
There's a pool here, a saltwater pool.
No, I meant for you, like near you, because water near you might be really, really, really helpful.
Besides the ocean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right near you.
No.
Yeah, having flowing water is just amazing because here's a giggle. If I need an intuitive answer and I'm not getting it, I go where the water flows into the bathroom. And sure enough,
You're not
every
alone.
single time.
Yeah.
Every single time.
I know people that get their most intuitive messages on the shitter or taking a shower or, you know,
Water. Yeah.
water. Yeah. Yeah.
Flow. Yeah. And then the water, because it's constantly flowing, it helps you balance. That's my point. That's just all. I'm just saying it. That's all.
All right.
Love and leave it, whatever.
You gotta surf the wave, man.
Yeah, water is amazing as far as, you know, well, I don't have a cat now. My cat passed away, so I guess I could put a fountain up now that I'm talking about it. So there's Gary. I gotta say, Andy, the other night, wherever Andy is, he was talking about contractual agreements and negotiating and all that. And I listened to it. I wasn't on, but I listened to it later, and he's amazing with that.
Yeah,
So,
the thing is, you know, if you don't say things exactly the right way, though, you can get into some deep trouble.
Yeah, that's the problem with that. Is you got to be pretty slick. You got to be pretty slick.
Well,
and that's kind of like linguistic programming, really, in a way, what he was doing there.
Yeah, he seems to have a good handle on it, though.
He does.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't doubt that he can pull it off.
Yeah. I'm not sure I could either. Don't worry. But I really like what he had to say. That was a good conversation.
Well, let's take a look at the Schumann right now, see what's going on there. And here it is. Looks like a whole lot of nothing. Nothing extraordinary. We got 8.13 hertz on the frequency, and what's that, 17 something on the amplitude? So nothing
Right.
extraordinary.
So this would have been earlier today when it was up at 17.
Yeah, you're correct. It's tailed off since then.
Yeah, and I saw that. So I mean, we're in that calm period right now, so that's why everybody's cool.
Well, I wonder, you know, what and if it had any kind of influence on, you know, for example, like last night, 12 hours ago, I was just knocked out right around this time period, right around here, I guess. I got knocked out. So I don't know if
remember, this is Tomask time, Greg, not current time or your time. It's Tomask, Russia. So Siberia kind of like.
Well, my little dogs, when the Schumann's off, I have a little ancient dog I brought home from the pound, and he was wild. They didn't take good care of him or anything, whoever had him before. And he has no teeth, he's blind, and he gets seizures when the Schumann is off. And that poor little guy just came back today, you know, able to walk better, and he gets treated, he gets very well cared for, but be able to walk, you know, around and eat, and he was a mess. And
is it just when the Schumann is off, or is it we just had a super full moon? I wonder if that affected.
That affects him too, but the Schumann was off before that too, and the poor little guy, he gets it, and I get it too. I get it. So yeah, we all have a little different reaction, but that 10-pound rock I put in the bed with me that from the street that I found a jasper rock about this big, and it's got a lot of lead in it. It's very, very heavy, and that's helping me with grounding when I'm asleep. That is helping a lot. So I am sleeping better.
Do you put that in your bed with you?
Yes.
I wonder where you got that idea.
I know.
Do you use that as a wedge between you and your husband?
Oh,
No, I don't need to because there's plenty of room. It's a king size bed.
Okay. If you ever get mad at him, just knock him on
Well,
the
Don't
there's
hit
a
him with the
pile of
rock,
rocks
please.
in there. So.
I don't want to hear about Karen being taken out to jail. Don't hit him with the rock, please.
Oh no, thank God we get along good.
Yes.
So I'm cool. here's my crystal to share for the day.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's a citrine, and it's been programmed for my healing.
That's the sacral chakra, I believe.
Yeah,
Is it?
I think so.
Yeah, it could be either sacral or the solar plex, one of the two.
Yeah.
It depends on how.
Oh, I think yeah.
It depends on
I think you're
how-
right. Solar
how-
plexus. I think you're right on the solar.
Yeah, but the citrine does a lot of other things. I mean, it's not a it will work with the solar plexus, but like Adrian said, it'll work in other ways too.
Mhm.
I remember Adrian talking about that. She said that when I interviewed her, she needed money to, I think, go out to Hawaii, and all of a sudden she bought. I guess she bought a big piece of citrine.
That thing's huge. She got.
And she did something, maybe said a mantra or something, and the next day or shortly thereafter, she got a windfall on some oil property that they had, and so it worked for her. So that's a nice piece that you have right there.
Yeah,
This is
sorry.
yours. Go for it, Phil. I'm fine.
No, I'm sorry. But anyway, yeah, this is that Libyan gold
Tektite.
Tektite. It came in this little package, and I thought, well, that's a good display package.
That's a nice size. How much did you pay for that, if you don't mind me asking?
I don't think I paid over 40 for it.
Yeah, that's about right. That's good. That's really good. Like I said, that's about the size that they had here in Sarasota, and they wanted $110.
Whoa.
Not happening.
They're taking a lot of profit on that.
Yeah.
I'm going to a club show this Saturday out in the middle of the desert above Victorville, and with my list, I'm ready.
That Libyan gold tektite, that she said that's like one of the most powerful stones. You can use that on any one of your chakras.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, mine's in a 32-ounce bottle of dye.
Oh no. Well,
that's
yeah.
okay.
Well, I was
Everyone
going to ask you about that. When you finish with the dye, do the crystals come out dyed, or are they?
I would just leave them in there. Honestly, maybe I don't know. The energy will remain inside the dye bottle. So I can't wait.
You just add more dye to it, and
yep, a little bit more sand, siesta key sand, more dye, more water, good to go.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
That makes sense.
Ho'oponopono intentions. Yeah. Yeah, I keep this one, my little crystal ball, right by the computer. It's like rubbing it between my hands.
Yeah, I keep a lot of crystals by me. I've got this bifocal crystal right here.
Oh, that's nice.
And then I got the selenite, amethyst, labradorite, and a big, whoops, here comes the balls, big crystal ball too. So yeah, I'm a big crystal nut.
Phil, I'm sending you love. Look.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's beautiful. Heart shape.
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to have little crystal skulls, and I can't find them. I think I either lost them or somebody took them, or they just ran away. I don't know.
Well,
I never knew before what Adrian said about the skulls, and then it made sense to me. Before that, I was like, "Oh, skulls."
no,
That was a
they're
good interview.
cool. They really are. I mean, I'm really happy with mine. That rose quartz crystal skull I have.
I love treasure hunting, so I love going and looking for them in weird places. I find things in thrift store. I find things you never know where you're going to find something. So it's really fun to have something from Mother Earth that you're looking for and treasure hunting for that you can actually find sometimes. Surprise finding.
On YouTube, Terry and Agatha love your heart.
Thank you. Sending you love. Yeah. I have another heart. I'll go get.
Yeah, I have a citrine heart too.
Nice.
Small, but
That's okay.
Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah. Sending everybody crystal love.
Nice.
Yeah. I like the hearts. There. Everybody got sent lots of crystal love. Phil, have you used your tuning forks yet for much?
Not much, not yet. No.
No?
I haven't been called to do it yet. Should have used it the last session that I had, actually, when I think about it, but I didn't think about it. So I need to get them out and start using them more.
I'm gonna go practice Saturday out in the middle of the desert. I figure nobody's gonna scream at me out there.
Well, I can't see the scream at you, but
for my first time, it's pretty dense here. People get really irate.
Do you have the hockey puck?
Yes, I have 3. It came in a package. Yes, got the hockey puck because it makes it just so easy. You just,
Mm-hmm.
So have you ever seen a video of Eileen McCusack doing the biofield tuning? She has some videos on YouTube. You might want to catch one of her actually doing it. It's really, she is really good at it.
What was her name again?
Diane.
Eileen McCusack and
Eileen
McCusack, S-I-C-K. But she does, it's called biofield. She calls it biofield tuning.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
And she really does have that clairaudient gift in a big way. So it's good. It's good to watch her do it. So, so when you get your hockey puck out, you know what you're doing.
Well, I figure these things out.
Yeah. Well, I'm a visual learner. So watching someone do something 1 or 2 times and then I'm set to go. I'm good.
Yeah. I do everything I've pretty much picked up in spiritual practices. I've either got it off of YouTube or from a video blog from, you know, somebody I was drawn to. I'm the same as you, you know, and it helps. Sorry.
Yeah.
Interrupting you.
My head would probably work well with a tuner. Just a couple
thing
times
with
on my head.
YouTube though is it's both visual and auditory. So that's why I like it as a teaching method. It gets both of them.
I had Reiki once, and the practitioner used tuning forks too, because I have a really, really bad arthritic, kind of deformed knee, and it was amazing. It made the pain go away, just, you know, like turning on a light switch. So tuning forks, I really want to. That's something I want to explore more, because, you know, everything is frequency and vibration. So anything that does frequency and vibration has to have an effect somehow.
Well, it does affect the material world, right? That's cymatics.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know which tuning fork Eileen uses for touching, that she uses recommends for after session, to just use it and use it and use it to clear yourself. I don't know which one that is, but Gary, it might be helpful for you if to check that out, because she definitely helped her tremendously.
Oh yes. I swear by that. I mean, one of the reasons I'm divorced from my second wife is because, you know, insurance wouldn't cover any of this kind of stuff, right? I had to pay for it out of pocket. And I was starting to pay for it, and she was like complaining, and I was like, but it's helping me. It makes me, you know, takes away the pain. And once I realized, oh, guess what? I must be married to another vampire who is sucking the life out of me, just like my first wife. So yeah, you learn the patterns, you know. But yes, I definitely want to catch up with her, and I'm gonna get the one she recommends and like follow her lead, because anything that could help, you know.
But she recommends this one tuning fork for you to buy and do it for yourself. That's
what I'm talking about. Yes, I agree with you. Yeah, I'm gonna check her out now, and, you know, thanks for the tip, because I'm learning Reiki basically right now. It's an online course on anyway, it's the place where you get all kinds of training. You can buy online courses, and she's actually going to call and do an attunement, talking to me on the phone. And I mean, I know it works long distance, just like if you're in the room, you know. So yeah, it's.
But my point is, if you can find out what hurts it's a fork with weights on it, but not weights. What are those called, Ray? Dampers or something.
Yeah, it's got like the rubber thing, like the physician hits your knee with, right?
No, they look like metal. They're two knobs.
Okay.
If you can find out the hertz, you know, you can probably get it cheaper somewhere else.
Yeah, I understand. Like in a music supply store, you know, a lot of places use tuning forks.
Or Amazon. Or Amazon too.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. I got my set at eBay, but I got a set that I was guided to get by Gaia, and I didn't get. I was surprised. I was guided to get stainless steel and not aluminum.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm pretty sure these are aluminum.
And you know, y'all were kind of mentioning earlier. Unfortunately, there are people who are supposedly awakened, but yet they seem to be into it for making the money. You know, I mean, like things you can get for. Things you can get for $10 on Amazon, they're selling in their shops for $60, you know?
What's the difference between the stainless steel and the aluminum tuning fork?
My husband is a tool maker, and he said that the aluminum is simply made from aluminum, and that the stainless steel is simply made from stainless steel, but they could they could temper them they put them in an oven and bring them up to temperature, and it causes the metal to harden, hardening of the metal. But it depends on the metal. It depends, you know, even if they say they did that to the aluminum or to the steel or whatever, it really depends on the kind of steel. as to whether it would really help or make a difference. So, to me, it was more like, just get a set and start learning what you're doing.
Okay, well, wait. Are they tuned to? Are they 443 or 4? Or I'm sorry, 443 or 432?
They'll say on the forks, on the sale of them, they'll say what the hertz
What
are.
hertz they are.
What do you have, Phil?
Well, they run the gamut here. Hold on a second.
He got the 9 chakra set, so he has all the chakra hertz. Right, Phil?
Yeah. So the largest one here starts off at 174 hertz. 100
Okay.
quarts, I was going to say. Hertz.
Right.
And here is this is a 285.
Okay.
Or wait. Yeah.
Huh.
285. 417. So actually, I don't know whether it actually corresponds to any of the chakras.
Yeah, I was wondering.
398.
So I thought there was like a 396. It was like Tesla numbers. I don't know. Maybe those ones are matching your bowls.
You're right. It is 396.
Okay.
Here's the 528.
Okay.
Right here.
All right. On
So
YouTube,
that's
Drew is saying this makes sense. Aluminum is toxic, so not as beneficial for healing. That would make sense.
Right.
But
I don't want to be licking any one of these.
Right?
I got mine set because I'm going to be guided to do tuning to tune myself with the earth and the elementals and the elementals to tune with humanity, to just bring that tuning up. That's what I was told that I'm being guided towards. So I don't know what I'm doing.
Well, Drew on YouTube said it's complicated, the tuning, because you can have a C note tuned to 440 and a C note tuned to 432. Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this one is we had the numbers in a different way. So this one is 639.
Okay.
They tune them according to the length and the breadth of there's a mathematical set of equations that my husband didn't figure out one of the lines yet because he's never done that one. But I was trying to get him. I have a lot of aluminum plate, and I was trying to get him to cut some out for me, but it was just easier to buy them.
So this one's 741. And we got 2 more. And the last one here, or one of the last. So this is 852.
Solar Star?
Could be, yeah. The Earth Star or something like that.
That would be the Solar Star.
Well, I would think this would be, let's see, 8, 9. So this is 965 here.
Oh, very good. Possible galactic star there.
Yeah, so I would say the central sun.
Yeah. That's cool. They sound good, Phil.
Yeah, no, I like the sounds of them. They're pretty pure sounding.
So here's ones that are based on the 432, the natural frequencies. And you can see that they do come in different tones for each one. each chakra, the root, the sacral, solar plexus, and so on. But that's for the 432.
So there's different hertz that it could come in at.
Right, depending, right, if whether it's natural frequency or standard tuning.
Good research, Greg.
Yeah, pretty cool.
I love that.
So where did you get? Is that on your website, Greg?
No, I just did while you were researching,
Oh.
while you were telling us about yours, I was researching it.
Oh, cool.
Just happened to find that picture on Bing.
Bing. Oh, okay.
Bing.
I don't go there.
I
often
was
enough,
doing some
yeah.
math.
I have to go back to Bing.
Well, maybe that's why now I was expecting to end up with at least a couple of sets. That could be why. Now I know why. Thank you very much. It was like, I'm going to be carrying a lot of those things.
Well, if you wanted to break it down, good Lord, I mean, what they're just showing right here are 3 different sets for each chakra. I mean, you could have alone right here, you could have 3 sets. And then if you wanted the additional sets for standard tuning, there'd probably be at least 3 more sets. So hypothetically, you could have 6 sets of force. How crazy would that be?
I'd have to have a golf cart.
Yeah, a couple hockey sticks for all your hockey pucks.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Jeez. That's going to be interesting.
Well, I might go out and buy 1 more set. That's all I'm going to do. After that, it's.
What kind?
Oh, I think I'll go with the steel and try to get the chocolate ones for sure.
Okay, that's what I was thinking of doing. I was thinking next time maybe I'd get an aluminum and compare them, the steel with the aluminum.
Well, now I already got that going on. So.
Okay, I'm gonna wait then.
So I'll go ahead and do that pretty quick here, and we'll let you know. Because I kind of want to get this resolved. I want to be able to offer that as a service.
On YouTube, Drew is saying that a good way to check if the sets are bogus is to check if the frequencies are ascending. If any of the frequencies of the higher chakras are lower than the ones before, they are fake. I didn't know that either.
That makes sense. So, yeah.
Yeah, it does. So, yeah, thanks, Drew.
Wow, I would never think that somebody would fake that. That's trippy.
I wouldn't think.
Because they're not hard to cut out. They're not hard to cut out. They're not hard. It's just as long as you do the math right, they're easy to make.
Right. You just have to be precise. That's all.
Well, actually, my husband is precise at his work within 10,000. So, and these, no, you don't have to get down to less than a hair's accuracy for them. So, no, they actually don't go there. They
don't have to be that close.
No,
I would think they would.
They're not at a micro. They're not at a need. They don't need to be at a micro accuracy.
Okay.
Yeah, because we were doing the homework on it. Because we found a maker's shop that has a CNC machine that nobody uses, and we're thinking of making them, but we got to get the math figured out.
I was just thinking, how cool would this be? Okay, say you wanted to work on your solar plexus, right? And you had 2 of these sets. Let's say you had the 162 and the 648 hertz. Imagine having somebody on your right side playing the 162 and on your left side, the 648. Imagine that kind of holographic sound that it would create, having that right there. I mean,
that would be the essence of binaural beats. Man.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh yeah, or
really cool.
You could start going, whoa.
Or you could use maybe there's multiple ones. You could use like the solar plexus and the crown chakra at the same time, one on each side, and experiment. I would do that on myself.
The one you were just pointing at,
Yeah.
add them all together, each line together for the numbers. It was a 639, or it was the 639 combination of numbers.
Let's see. It's an interesting table. I mean, it's really quite fascinating. And they do actually have it broken down to fractions.
Under E, right? Yeah.
Can you save this or send this on your the YouTube chat?
Yeah.
The link to this page.
Yeah,
I definitely would like to get it. Bookmark that sucker.
Greg's good at research.
That's 999. E is 999.
Okay, I'll paste it here on Zoom, the image link, and I'll paste it on YouTube as well if people want to check that out.
Yeah, you might find tones that are like, one that's 333 and one that's 666 and one that's 999 and put them together. You can get your rhythmic tones, at different levels.
I thought before I did all that I would lay out some sand and lay out some materials on flat sheets of paper and just see when I move around them what happens. Before I do all that.
Sorry, I had to mute Rob. He had his mic on, and all right, we're good.
You can put that piece of paper on like a bowl. You can put that piece of paper like on a glass bowl and touch the glass bowl and see what the sand actually forms, what pattern the sand actually forms.
I don't need to do a bowl. I can just lay it out flat and it'll form. Yeah. Or a piece of paper plate or anything. Are
you going to use colored sand so you can take a picture up so we can see?
Oh, maybe
Diana.
I have black.
Diana, why is your camera like this?
I was eating. I'm sorry.
Just curious.
I didn't want y'all to see me stuff in my face.
Kilroy was here, right up to the nose.
I'm just peeking in on you guys.
Just curious.
Yeah, I was eating. I didn't want y'all to see me going, no.
Dawn, did you tell Greg what everybody's inspired, especially Greg, inspired you to do yet? Have you told him? Dawn, have you told them yet? She's not talking. She always talks. No? You're not going to tell him? Dawn. She's not going to tell you yet, I guess.
Okay.
She might have stepped away for just a minute, I do that sometimes.
No, she's sitting, her butt sitting right there. So. No, her butt was sitting right there. Yeah, she'll tell you eventually. She'll get there. I can't tell you. It's her project.
Okay.
Going bed? Thank you.
I have a question.
Okay.
Recently, the state took away my medical card because I'm not working and I'm disabled, but I'm not paperwork disabled, federally disabled yet. I'm still going through the paperwork with that. I'm waiting for Social Security to go through. And they took my and I'm too young, to have a medical card, but I can't work because I have seizures. So I have really bad anxiety and really bad depression issues. And I've been feeling the every single energy lately from the earth.
Oh yeah.
And she's just been hitting me, and between people, me deleting my last Facebook. So my medication is like $100 and I can't pay for it. So I haven't been on my depression medicine for like a couple days. I want to know, like, how can you how are you able to get off medication like fully? That way, you know, you don't have to take it anymore if you know, because I'm on seizure medicine, and that's like $1,000 right there. But I'm just going through a huge transition of like feeling alone right now, and you know, not being able to process the seizures or epilepsy and my anxiety. So I'm just having a really hard time of trying to process all this and the energies of the earth at this moment, and like trying to figure out if the seizures have anything to do with the energy. So I was wondering if anybody if anybody could guide me to like anything like holistically I can do to get me about getting, you know, off medication, or be able to not have to rely on medication for like seizures or, you know, anxiety and depression.
Desiree, you know, I want you to contact me, and would like to pray with you and work with you.
Go ask Dad. I can't talk.
I don't know if anything for seizures holistically.
Jupiter Lynn, are you on? Can you hear me? Let me see.
Desiree, can you hear Don?
Yeah, Jupiter.
Yeah. Sorry, I had
Jupiter
to change
Lynn,
my name because.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I had to change my name because people were attacking me on Facebook.
I gotcha.
I'm spiritual on there, but
I want to tell you a short story. I'm just going to make it really short. CBD oil. I got into HempWorks CBD oil almost 2 years ago now, and I went through some of the same stuff that you were going through, and most of mine was anxiety. Excuse me. The only reason I got into it was because a year ago they found out I had a pituitary tumor. And so, yeah, my MRI, and I still have my MRI to prove it, that I had a pituitary tumor. So what I did was I started researching all these medical miracles about CBD oil. And I studied many, 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 many different companies. I got the third-party documents. I really started pounding it because, you know, everybody said, oh, CBD oil for this, CBD oil for that, blah, 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 you know, and I didn't believe it. So anyways, a friend of mine challenged me to try it. So I started, when I started working with HempWorks, My Daily Choice, they're based out of Las Vegas, Nevada. I started doing the 750 CBD oil twice a day, and I did it for a year. And then I went back a year later, and I had another MRI done, and they couldn't find the pituitary tumor in the MRI. So what my doctor had come to believe is either it had, you know, the CBD oil, because, you know, everybody has cannabinoids in their body, and it works on everybody differently. But I did this for a year. I thought, okay, for shits and giggles, and it wasn't cheap, but I did it for a year because I was getting headaches. It was affecting my vision. I mean, the list goes on. And so I did it for a year, and I was having anxiety attacks, just like you. I mean, I was kind of a basket case, just like you. And then I started doing CBD oil, and then I started on the 750. And then once they found that they could no longer find that tumor on my MRI, then I downgraded to the 500, and I still do the 500 today. Okay, it's just drops under the tongue. You hold it for 40 seconds, peppermint flavor. And so I joined the company because they sold me. They sold me. It helps with your anxiety. It helps with depression. I mean, you know, it's like, okay, you know, a lot of people smoke pot. They say it helps with their anxiety and depression. The only difference is this is minus the paranoia than what you get off when you're smoking pot. A lot of people that smoke weed, it comes with the paranoia because the THC is so high. But with this, I didn't get paranoid. The THC is kind of monitored and it's a legal limit. And we had just upgraded to our 1500, and it's great stuff. You know, it's totally 60-day guarantee, et cetera, et cetera. Now, getting back, if you want to talk more about that, I can talk to you more about that after this presentation. But anyways, Karen, were you addressing me? Was that you? Were you calling me earlier? I was, I was just trying to get on here. I was on YouTube. I'm usually on YouTube, but I had YouTube up and I had this page up, and I started getting double feedback. So I figured I better get rid of one of them. So I got rid of the YouTube. But as far as the HC on the chakras, on our the frequencies, I don't know if anybody here follows Richard Greer. He does the CE5 meditations.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I have
Stephen
that.
Greer.
Have you heard that? Okay.
Yeah.
I started following him, and I said, CE5, what the hell is that all about? So
Yeah,
I
my friend
started
does that
following.
in Tasmania.
Exactly. So, but he's coming to Arizona here in a couple months, and I have followed him for years and years and years because I'm into the alien thing and yada yada yada, and I'm like, is it really possible, to really communicate with them? So I started getting into that, and they do a meditation thing, and they use all the chakras and everything. They do the regular meditation, and they start with the low frequencies, and then they go up to the higher frequencies. Now okay, Gary, what's up?
Well, I just want to, before we get too much off of, Desiree's question, which I don't know if that's what you're leading to with all this.
Okay.
But I was just thinking, I want to also chime in and agree with you. Yes, I've been using CBD oil for like 3 years now.
Yeah.
It got me off of having to take oxycodone because, I was totally
great.
addicted to oxycodone.
That's awesome.
So I quit doing that stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
It helps a lot, but you got to be sure you're getting the real stuff and not some cheap Chinese knockoff,
Exactly.
And
the
frankly,
female plant,
Desiree, if you try that, I think it'll help you. And also,
the female
I just
plant
wanted
is
to
the
say
strongest.
maybe, hey, why don't all of us maybe send Desiree some love right now? It looks like she could really use, a lot of love from her family, right? And we're her family. So let's just all, let's send her positive love, reach out towards the screen and everything.
I agree.
Let's just support her because, she's hurting.
We'll help you out. We'll help you out.
That's what we're here for.
She's absolutely
right. Desiree, I can help you get CBD oil if you can't afford it. Like I said, somehow.
So can I.
Somehow abundance is flowing to me right now that like it never has, and I'm blessed, and I'm willing. I want to share the blessing, because for me, money's not for me to have; it's for me to use to help people with. You know, that's the way I look at it.
And that's what it's all about. It's all about helping the people. I've always been raised. The quality goes in before the name goes on.
But Desiree, just know we love you and we're here for you anytime. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what
Desiree,
family is.
Yeah.
I want you to check out. I also want you to check out the comments on YouTube because Jody's saying EFT, Reiki, and CBD. A lot of people are saying CBD oil.
Reiki.
Right. I'm gonna have to say I got a hit on marijuana or CBD oil would be in the state that she's in is probably the best she can do.
Yeah.
As an aid to that. And Reiki would help, and I'm going to put you, if you're okay with it, Desiree, because I have to ask, I'll put you in a Reiki distance right now.
I thank you all so much because sorry.
We'll help you, girl. We'll help you.
My whole life,
I've
been epileptic since I was 5 days old, and they can't find a way or where my seizures come from. And I've been like this for a very long time, and my parents never cared for me to take me to the doctor. And now I'm 28 years old and they can't find anything. So now I can't afford CBD because I live in a subsidized housing. I pay 0 rent, but the government treats me like oh, you're young, you don't have a disability, we don't have any track of you being young, epileptic. So it's just it's on that, that page where, your parents never cared about you your whole life. I never even been to a dentist because my parents never even took me to go get dentures.
What state? Can I ask what state you live in? What state do you live in?
Illinois.
Oh, that's where I'm from, girlfriend. I'll help. I'm gonna help you out.
It's just this point where I'm going through all this cleansing, like super cleansing, and it's just like, oh my God, like, I hold my emotions very well when I'm on the medication, but it's called Lexapro, and they put me on 20. They started me off at 10 milligrams, and then they put me on 20 milligrams because they thought I was crazy because I was talking about aliens and extraterrestrials and everything. But I got into Reiki, so I am a Reiki master. I've been working on myself, but the medication with the seizures, it's called Keppra. I'm on the highest dosage because the MRIs can't figure anything out. I've tried CBD. The CBD doesn't really work.
Bad side effects from the medication you're taking.
Not all CBD are the same either. Not all CBD are the same, and you might want to change how much you're taking.
Exactly.
Well, the female plant is the highest grade CBD plant. And then there's the varieties of hemp and the base and how they derive it. And there's a full spectrum of differences in all of these oils. Yeah.
You have to be very careful with the THC levels, because the THC levels for you, in your case, if they're too high, they can create paranoia and that sort of thing.
Yeah, you don't want to do
that. Things have to be regulated. Exactly.
Well, CBD oil wouldn't have THC in it. It just has.
It
takes out the THC, the tetrahydrous taken out.
Start a treatment believing that it's going to help you. The chances are it will help you. I mean, when I went for Reiki my first time, one of my best friends tried to talk me out of it. That's just voodoo witchcraft crap. And I was like, no, this is going to help me. I really know this is going to help me. I was just called to this, and it helps. So, I mean, just go into it with an open, I'm preaching to the choir, Des. I know. Just,
Hey, Des.
I've done everything.
Just believe, girl. Believe in yourself. Believe in your power, okay?
Hey, Des. I really appreciate all of you.
Right. And we have CBD oil too, for it's, has no THC whatsoever. We have doctors, cops, and everybody using it, and it's mostly for them. It's for anybody that has fibromyalgia, depression, anxiety, that sort of thing. So I know what you're going through being in Illinois. That's why I left Illinois. I grew up in Illinois. I mean, I was in Chicago for so long, and I had to get the hell out of there.
Desiree,
it's toxic. The whole place is toxic.
Peoria too.
Yeah,
and
we were talking last time when your husband was on, and we were talking about Moon Dancer. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I went to the place there in Pekin across from Hardee's there. You know where I'm talking about? It's the CBD place. They have the good quality CBDs and the full spectrum CBDs, and they're really good. I've started treating myself for my seizures. I started having seizures after my wreck in 2011. They had me on Depakote and gabapentin for many years. And I was also on some other really heavy meds like Klonopins and stuff like that, major generalized anxiety disorder and depression as well. They told me I'd always have to be on meds. I'm now off all 14 medications, but first I started with CBDs, full spectrum. It has a lot to do with the milligrams you're taking, which we're probably about the same size physically, so I could probably help you along with that. But I slowly started dampering down my milligram dosages. Meanwhile, for like anxiety and depression, I really had to learn about my microbiome, about nutrition, about, like staying away from sugars, caffeines, anything that sparked my my anxiety. Your microbiome and your diet has a lot, honey, to do with.
Your diet has a lot to do.
Absolutely.
With it. And I started. That's why I went keto. I went keto and it knocked out a lot of stuff. I got rid of the breads, the potatoes,
Right.
and that sort of thing. Anything high on sugar, like she said, she is 100%
And
correct.
getting rid of all my processed foods. Mostly everything in my house I cook from scratch. I cook vegetables, and I use olive oils instead of vegetable oils. I mean, I really get into making sure I eat a lot of fruits and vegetables, white meats,
and watch the carbs. Watch the carbs.
So I treat pain because I have 2 titanium rods and 6 pins in my spine. And so I treat my pain with CBD and Epsom salt baths, and diet, anti-inflammatory type diet. That also helps with my depression and anxiety. And then, like I had said before, that I'd also had the HIV, which I do not take meds for, and my immune system's wonderful. So everything that I've done, I've been pretty much doing correctly. And I've been kind of doing this for years. But baby doll, if you're having issues, I'm right here in town, and I have a lot of knowledge when it comes to that. And, you know, all you got to do is get a hold of me, sweetheart, because I am right here. And, you know, if anything, I can help you walk this journey too, because I've been walking it since 2011.
Caitlin,
I would
like you had
definitely say
something to
one of
say
the big
about
things
that,
is
right?
diet.
I did, yeah. Desiree, I couldn't, I'm down here trying to pack, and I couldn't help but hop on really quick because my heart just goes out to you, Desiree. I was in a very, very similar situation a few years ago, and everyone's saying the CBD oil. I'm not totally familiar, but I would love to give you just a few ideas that might be able to help. What everyone is saying about the nutrition is true. It doesn't mean you have to have a perfect diet, but the more produce you can eat, especially like throw it in a blender, mash it up, whatever, in the morning, just get it out of the way. It doesn't happen overnight, but after 2 or 3 weeks, you're going to see a big change. Even if you eat some junk food later, just get it out of the way in the morning if you can. I also invested in something called a Happy Light. Now, it would be worth obviously researching because I don't get seizures, but my depression was incredible. And the Happy Light is like $20 on Amazon. You just sit in front of it and it works. People say it's for seasonal depression. I think it's for any kind of depression, especially considering my major depression that I had. Another really thing that honestly truly helped me when I was in a situation where I could no longer take meds, it was more of a choice because it wasn't serving me anyway. In other words, I was taking so many different medications, such high dosage, and I wasn't operating at my highest level. I know Matthew John was on the show before, and actually he is the one that helped me come up with a nutrition plan and a list of, what is it called? Not vitamins, but like supplements that were specific for that. Like I heard you say Lexapro. I haven't used that, but I know it's a very common one. There are so many supplements out there that can help. One that really helped me was Indium, super cheap on Amazon. It's in a dropper, and I can send these to if you want. But he also helped me come up with just a little concoction, and I still take them every morning with my smoothie, of different supplements. And it's unbelievable, to be honest, that we all don't go to those first before we go to our doctors and big pharma and all these, you know, we're a lot of times we're even self-diagnosing ourselves of what we should be taking. But Matthew John is a resource. I can send you a list of things that work for me. You can check them out. I definitely want you to consider your seizure, you know, that the condition there. But I also just want to give you hope. Like maybe this is, please take this. Maybe this is a blessing. This is a great time. We keep talking about breaking addictions, and I'm sorry that it came in a form of almost neglect from your parents. That's not fair to you. But I wonder if this is an opportunity for you to heal something else, and maybe you can discover new ways to do it in ways that feel better for you. Because look how natural you are already. You've healed so much already. Maybe your body is one of the last steps, and maybe this is kind of what pushed you in the direction. And like everyone is saying, I mean, I don't always hop on to chat on the Zoom, but I listen and I feel like I know you and I care, and I'd be happy to share any of the list from of supplements that were helpful for me if you want to look them up on your own. They're cheap.
Yeah, same here.
'Cause I'm
I think
very-
everybody here is willing to help you out, because I mean, I know being raised in Illinois, we were raised on, bread, potatoes, corn, everything high on carbs that contains sugar. So, I mean, it affects your body. And I never knew that until I really started studying the keto diet and everything. It's like, I mean, how much grams of carbohydrates I was getting every day. And that's why I was so down and sluggish and just,
and don't underestimate the sun either. Like the crazy energies coming in are fucking batshit. Like what you guys were talking about sleeping or not. I was going through that same thing, sleeping. I'm like, am I being lazy? No, this is insane. And it's not even showing up on Shunin. Like what the F is going on, right? But on the flip, so I acknowledge that you are dealing with that as well, but don't underestimate sunlight. I know you're in Illinois, I'm in Philadelphia. Force yourself to go outside for 5 minutes and like honor the sun. Take that in,
The sun is where, my
walk
happy
for
place.
5 minutes, go on a 5-minute walking meditation, bring your daughter or go on your own, but play high energy music that makes you feel good. I don't care if it's a hip hop song or it can be a Hertz or whatever. I'm into the sound healing as well, but if you can get yourself outside for a few minutes every day, if you can go for a walk, if you can do all the things that you're doing or not, be gentle with yourself. But listen to your body. And if you just stop taking it, you are in the hardest part. This week is probably going to suck. Next week, you're going to have a couple of days that feel better. But by the third week, you're going to kind of flush that stuff out. And if you are able to come up with the funds to get your refill and you choose to do that, by all means. But if you want to try some alternatives, maybe this is a great time to try, and we're all here to support.
Right.
Yeah, we are.
There is a roll-on CBD. It's a rescue CBD for seizures. It comes like in a roll-on bottle, like your underarm roll-on bottles, and you roll it on. If you go into a seizure and somebody else is there to help you, they roll it on the bottom of your foot, right in here. Okay. It's a roll-on CBD oil for seizures.
Yeah,
Thank you all so much. Like,
CBD
I
is
consider
becoming a
you
really
all
big thing.
family, because like, I've noticed like a lot of people abandoning me or like things happening. So I don't know if there's anybody else out there that's had like an issue. So since the day I was born, okay, so I'm writing a book right now. I'm writing a book about my life, like an autobiography or biography.
Cool.
I remember the moment I was born.
Wow.
I don't know if that sounds strange to you.
No.
Yeah.
I was in the
some
darkness.
people do.
Well,
I was in the darkness, and then I come out, and when your eyes are closed and there's that red, when you're sitting in the sun, and then there's like that red or orange film over your eyes, and like you're alive, but there's that, the sun energy there. So I knew I was coming out the womb. So what my point is across, so my whole life, my parents taught me about religion. I was shoved down. My whole life taught me, I'm a demon. I'm demonic.
Oh, wow.
My whole life.
Wow.
So I was molested since I was birthed.
Oh, wow.
So I don't know if all these energies, like the sensitivity, has anything to do with my gifts.
Sure it does.
That I have, and if anybody else with seizures or sensitive energies have felt this. But this is why I want to get my story out. This is why I'm writing a book, because I want to see who else out there has, how special you are to this earth, and just know that you have a purpose no matter what you are going through. You have a purpose, and even if it's depression, anxiety, seizures, or anything, PTSD, anything, you are special and you are here for a reason. You're at the end, things that you've gone through your whole life, you've gone through it for a reason, to come to this point in life, to bring a beautiful light to this earth. And that's where I'm, my life is coming out. I know where I'm coming from. I know which star system I belong to. But I think for me, it's just a cleansing out. And I'm starting to get really, really sensitive with all this government stuff and things happening. And I'm starting to feel like I don't, it's really hard to explain. Like I belong on the earth, but
But you need to move. You need to move. You need to get out of there.
It's
get
like
out of there.
I'm on this earth. I feel like I'm being like condensed.
Right.
Like the government is closing in on me, or like, I feel like I'm being controlled, or like, and then like the anxiety's going harder. I have full grand mal seizures. I get migraines, and then my eyes go blurry, and then I see sparkles like angels, and then I go out, and so it's just energy like that. I don't know if negative energy attacks.
A lot of it's negative energy.
Yeah, but the parasites know that the work you're doing, and this is a time where I really feel like they're keen on seeing that, and you are such a bright light, and you've done so much healing already. I mean, maybe this is almost one of your last strings of something for you, but I want to encourage you to try your best to keep your spirits up. It's probably going to be hard as you're, adjusting just a few days not taking the meds, but really try to keep your spirits up and give yourself some credit for how far you've come. You are strong. You have healed more than most people on this planet can say they've even considered or attempted, let alone are aware of. So you can do whatever you want. And I really want you to feel empowered. Like, I really want you to continue to reach out to us and let us know.
That's why I'm wearing yellow today.
Does anybody out there that lives in Illinois area have a disability attorney that could help her? Does anybody know somebody that does this stuff? Because there's disability attorneys that can help get her an income and get her on disability.
Benderandbender.com. Benderandbender.com. I'll send you the link.
Definitely.
They're the ones that help me.
Anything. They won't charge you anything unless they get you.
No, not a dime.
No,
not a dime. They don't charge you until they win.
You have nothing to lose.
There is a place called Prairie State Legal too that does everything pro bono for people like us too, Desiree, right here in Peoria.
I've gone through them and they won't help me.
Really?
No,
because they
said I had my son taken away. I had my son taken away when he was 2 years old. And his father was actually abusing him the whole time and took pictures and pinned it on me.
You muted yourself, hon.
Or someone else muted her. I don't know.
As you're muted.
Yeah, you're muted, Des. We can't hear you.
Hit your button, girl.
I'm hitting unmute and it's not doing anything.
If I can be able to tell my story one time, like one of these times, and be able to, I'll have to do and tell and show everybody, everything I've gone through. I want to write a book. I want to tell everybody everything I've gone through, and tell everybody, no matter what you're going through, look what I've gone through.
Writing a book is one of the best medicines there is, because you're telling everything about yourself and you're getting all this off your chest. And it's not only are you helping yourself, but you're helping other people by writing about it. And I think that's awesome. It's a great way to do. And when I lived in Illinois, I grew up in Illinois, I had to get out of Illinois because it was too depressing for me. Illinois was too depressing for me. The sun hardly ever shined. And, it was gloomy more than it was shinier. And the weather, the lack of sunshine will affect you. I mean, it's going to affect you major. And if you're an empath, which I can see that, you're an empath, that affects you even greater. You need to move somewhere.
I cry when there's bad things going on. I hug the earth and I cry, and I'm like, why am I crying?
Exactly. I mean,
tears, and I'm like, oh my God, I need a ground.
Yeah, sometimes you need to get away. Sometimes you need to get away and move somewhere that you can handle. Get away from there. Move to an area. Go west, girl. I tell everybody to move west. My doctor told me if I moved west, I would live 10 years longer. just by getting away from Illinois. And
you guys are the only ones I've talked about all this. So, and I consider you all family and I love you. And if anybody else is going through this, you are not alone. So just know that there's family out there.
Right. Because number one, it's documentation for your lawyer. Not kidding. But also when you write, it helps, you know, express and heal and get your thoughts in order. And I do believe that you could share your story with others, whether it's a book, a TED talk, a talk at a school. I mean, I mentioned before, I was a teacher for 7 years. No matter what school I worked at, rich, poor, suburb, city, Catholic, public, I hated them all. It wasn't because of the kids. I love teaching kids. I still tutor. I work in a nonprofit and do a teen talk, but the rules, the limitations, these kids want to hear stories like this. They want to be empowered. They do things like this. And they need to see familiar people that have been through it. And in your case, gone through with strength. So I highly encourage you to write. And when you write when you're inspired, of course, it comes out so authentically and so strong. So when you're feeling these feelings, come to us and definitely, when you're against the chat, write.
But not just write, Desiree, but follow your other passions too. You are an incredible artist. You make beautiful jewelry. You create incredible spiritual, really powerful things that help people. You know, follow all that, because that's where your passion is. And when you follow your bliss, that's what you get, you know. And,
well, I create, Gary, because I'm tired of keeping all this energy in bottled up.
I know
it's not good for you. And writing.
Well, I mean, just any way you can get it out. Just express yourself and get that highest vibration. You know, when you're creating art, you're closer to the source than you ever are. You're in direct contact. You know, that's what I think.
So I want to also, I love you, Gary.
Hey, what can I say? I try to encourage people.
I also want to ask a question too, like, so since we were purposely born here to go through tragic events and purposely, you know, like for me, seizures, anxiety, depression, is there thing like when we're opened up to spirituality and energies and all this stuff, is that making us more prone to having the opposite energy attack us more when we're finding out who we are?
No,
not always.
How are you able to relate the two?
I think actually, if they do come after the light. They do try to snuff out the light, and if you start to shine too brightly, you're going to become a target. You know, I mean,
No, the stronger your light.
It's look, I mean, a lot of people in this genre, a lot of people who do disclosures and stuff. All I'm saying is a lot of people like on the secret space program and things like that, where, you know, the bad guys don't want the word out. A lot of them mysteriously die in car accidents, you know, things like that. That's all I'm saying. So, you got to shield yourself, I think, is what I'm saying, you know?
Right.
Yeah, I've been doing Qigong.
I mean, like what I started doing myself, I love science fiction movies. I love the movie Dune. And I thought the way they would hit a little button on their belt and that golden shield would come over them. I mean, so now when I go out in public, before I step out, I visualize, boom, turning my shield on. And I'm not really worried now because, you know, if something happens, it's going to happen. And just, you know. Anyway, that's all I'm saying.
You have to know too.
And you can have, please, you know, feel free to disagree. It's a free country, you know, and I want to hear what everybody has to say, you know.
You know what I have to say. My light is the strongest light in my field for me, and my light.
And that's what I started when you said that night. That's what I started doing now. Whenever I go anywhere, and I'm not really worried about the dark entities anymore. And I got to tell you, since I started doing that, Karen, thank you. I mean, my life has just been like really cool. Things have just started flowing in, and I mean, it's working. So yes, you know,
because
we got to keep that vibration up, you know.
When you are
carpal tunnel. Sorry.
When you are shielding yourself too much, when you do all that, you also block integration. You block transmutation. You can block a lot of stuff, and then the energies can shall we say, your own energy can backfire. So it's really important to have flow, you know,
I agree with you. Balance is everything. I didn't say to build an iron shield and lay a shield
I'm just
around
saying,
yourself.
Even a shield.
I'm just saying, you know, there are
saying,
dark entities that are attracted to us because of our light. That's all I'm saying.
But our light, when our light is the strongest light in our field, it just eats them up. It's like, you know, putting water into sprinkling water into a huge fire. It just goes.
Well, yeah, if you pour a glass of water into a kettle that's been sitting on the fire for an hour, it'll poof evaporate. Correct. You know, absolutely. I'm not saying anything except that because we do have a higher vibration and we are trying to help, there are forces and players and actors out there, some of them intentionally, some of them through being misguided and misled, who are trying to bring us down. And we can't really have that, you know. So
there's okay. The great,
but I'm not saying we got.
I'm going to tell you.
I'm
going to tell you.
You know,
since
you know what,
I was
Karen,
a kid,
you're right.
The
you're
greatest
right. Okay.
enemy
you
have is yourself.
Right. Whatever you're saying, you're right tonight. I don't want to argue. I was just
I'm
trying
not
to point out something.
Okay, I want to offer something to Desiree.
Yeah,
I want to offer something to Desiree.
Please
let me get through to Desiree. Desiree.
I don't want to help. I don't want to argue. I just want to, you know, let's lift our sister up. Is all.
Go ahead, Phil.
Yeah, Desiree. I want to help you so much. It hurts me. Okay, so you've already I mean, we're friends on Facebook. I don't know whether you're still using that. You said you're not, but if friend me and let's get together, because I live in Washington State. I can go down to the dispensary and I can order you whatever stuff you need and I will send it to you free of charge, no cost, just because I love you.
That's a lot of CBD, girl.
Hey, Desiree, I don't know. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I just joined. Can you guys hear me or see me? Sorry if
yeah,
so.
you're
right.
I was just going to mention to Desiree, I do have your eyes that you sent me. I don't know if now's the time to do it or not, but we could do a quick glance at your eyes. I could share my screen, but one thing I can tell you for sure is you've got an adrenal fatigue big time. So according to your eyes, it's all about your adrenals, which would make sense with the emotions and also with the seizures as well. And so regeneration of the adrenals is going to take place primarily with obviously the fruits, as we were talking before, but particularly the berries. Did you get a chance to get into some good berries and stuff to start regenerating, flushing the kidneys and regenerating the adrenals?
Yeah, actually they did a sonogram on my kidneys and I actually have cysts on my kidneys.
Yeah.
So, and they've been trying to find out. There's so much to correlate with all this. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
Now they're thinking it's my colon and all that crap. But I have been this past week I haven't eaten really good. That's part why I'm depressed and anxiety too. But I've noticed when I do like full drinking, like you said, like the fruit, my fridge is filled with avocados, fruits. I cut them all up. I put them in the freezer. I portion them out, and then I do the, like you're talking about, like who, Kayla Lynn, or when she was talking about like doing, yeah. I've been trying to do it. It's been hard. So
yeah, it's hard. Food addictions and that sort of thing is very, very difficult. But for sure, if you can get you want to get those kidneys flushing for sure, and get as high on, mainly if you can, just try to avoid the proteins, cut the proteins out and go as high on the fruit as you can. And that's as simple as it is. And from everything that we've seen from Dr. Morse's point of view and everything that we're doing, it really is that simple. You can get into the medicinal herbs and everything, and it's sort of fancy and it's fun. But the truth is, the real remedy is in the fruit. It's all about the fruit. Like I can take people that are desperately close to the edge of dying, like I'm talking like days to live, and we can pull them from the brink of the edge and bring them all the way back to full vitality on fruit. And you can't do that on any other food. There's no other food that you can't do that on veggies, and you sure can't do it on meat and dairy and cheese and stuff. You're not going to save lives with that.
I've gone away from meat.
In the sea of chaos of everything, I guess my main message would be is just, it's so chaotic out there, and there is so much going on in terms of opinions and ideas. just remember the simplicity of this message is that, you know, and in terms of the fruits, it's as high a percentage of fruit. It's not so much how much fruit you're eating, it's the percentage of fruit compared with other foods. So if you can get around 85-90% fruit, especially with some berries mixed in there, and then the 10% that's not fruit, as long as you're keeping away from the proteins, you're gonna win the day for sure. You can't, you won't be denied.
I noticed that because so I have hemp protein and I put it sometimes in, and then I use kale and spinach, you know, for the iron because I get like really low on iron, and they gave me a glucose meter because I flagged for hypoglycemic. That triggers the seizures. So if my blood sugar goes lower than 30 or 20, that's when I go into full grandma blown seizures.
Yeah. Desiree, everything that you just described is all adrenal failure. Because see, when they said iron deficiency, see what they'll try to do is get you supplementing iron, and that's a mistake because it's not a deficiency in your diet as much as it is a utilization problem. See, the adrenals utilize the minerals for the body. So when your adrenals are down, it'll look like you have some deficiency like in your diet, but it's just because your adrenals are unable to utilize the mineral. So you have a mineral utilization problem, not a mineral deficiency problem. So I wouldn't be messing with those veggies and playing around with all that crap trying to get your iron. You just need to go straight to the fruit, get those kidneys flushed, get your adrenals regenerated, and you're going to be a happy camper for sure.
And can that all like eating, not you know, adding all that protein and stuff, can that cause depression and anxiety?
Oh yes, yes. You don't want to be adding that protein at all. No way. With cysts on your kidneys and things like that, no proteins, no way.
Stay away from all the supplements for a while.
Yeah. So just that simple formula, cut the proteins out, go as high on the percentage of fruits as you can, and you will win the day. We've got hundreds of thousands of clinical cases of success, and it's even way into the millions if you calculate all the YouTube and people that are doing it and following it and doing it. But that's what it's all about, getting your adrenals online. According to your eyes, it's absolutely an adrenal fatigue issue. And remember, berries, it's all about the berries and the fruits for adrenals and kidneys for sure. Just thought I'd pop that in. I didn't want to take up a bunch of time for everybody, but.
No, but you're right. I've noticed that is different, like, especially with emotionally, like, you know, energies, like with me. I don't know if anybody else has ever experienced this too, but when I eat meat, like when Gary was talking about a couple weeks ago with eating meat, processed food, or anything, like he gets really depressed because he can feel the energy from the animal, or, you know, all the other stuff. But when I do eat protein, I feel really fatigued and sick.
Yeah.
They were looking at my pancreas, thinking it was like a pre-insulin or like an insulin issue. So yeah, there's just, you're right. Because when I drink more of a watery, like liquidy diet, I notice a big difference with seizures and, you know.
Yeah, when you start eating protein, you're going to see all that stuff will go crazy on you. All your seizures and all your bad problems, your depressions, all your struggles will come out with the proteins for sure. I don't know if you can you see your eyes here real quick? And I'll just real quick show you. The main thing that I'm seeing is, see these rings in your eyes? These are called nerve rings. And that's because of that adrenal fatigue. And so we've got the maps down here to show where we're picking that up. But this is the congestion in your adrenals right here. And then it's more so on your left side. You see even way stronger. Here's the kidneys. So your left kidney here, do you see this dark spot that I'm showing?
Yeah.
I'll zoom in here. This dark spot right here, this is right on your left kidney. And then you've also got all this congestion here in the left adrenals. So, you know, that's why you're getting these rings in your eyes. These rings right here are indicative of extreme adrenal fatigue. So your autonomic nervous system and everything is under quite a bit of load. But you can relieve all that. Like I say, it's just a good old fruit detox. And we call it the road to Wellville. We call it the road from Hellville to Wellville. And you want to get on the road to Wellville and get honking on. It's a hand to mouth problem. If you'll cooperate with God, or the God force, however you want to look at it, if you'll cooperate with the God force, all you got to do is get that fruit from here to here. And then God takes it, and it's a chemical reaction. That's the beauty of it. You just let magic happen. So it's kind of awesome.
Andy, what fruit, can I ask, what fruits do you suggest? In my case, it has to be fruits that are at least 20 carbs or under. And I love fruit. I do. I love fruit. But in my case, you know, because I'm a plus size short girl, I have to watch my carbs. So I like blueberries, but I know blueberries are high in carbs. But in Desiree's case, as far as fruits are concerned, what types,
Well, when
kinds
it
of
comes
fruits
to
would you
fruit carbs,
suggest?
you don't need to worry about your fruit carbs. You can enjoy fruit carbs all day, every day. They've got people watching out for carbs, but it's because of all the empty carbs out there. There's really low grade empty carbs. So when it comes to fruit carbs, just have yourself a heyday. You literally can't get it wrong.
So what, in her case, what fruits would you suggest?
Juicy and ripe. So what you want to do is you want to hunt down ripe, naturally ripe. Ideally, they're picking everything green these days, you know, so you want to try to get fruit that was naturally ripe. So the good old scriptural saying to eat the fruit of the season is very, very true, because the fruit of the season is usually the one that's hitting the market the closest to ripe. And so you want ripe, juicy fruits. So you're looking for oranges, all kinds of juicy fruits, like if you're getting into grapes and peaches and things like that. So there's a lot of different fruits, but the reason I say juicy is because whenever people have acidosis, they're by definition dehydrated. So the juicy fruits are also going to help hydrate you as you go. So, you know, but realistically, any fruit is going to do you good, because all of the fruits have an alkaline ash, which is going to go in and detox, and it's going to be an antacid on the kidneys and an antacid in the lymph system. So you really can't go wrong. Just hunt down the best fruit you can fall in love with. I just tell people, find the fruit you can fall in love with, and then just fall in love with fruit all over again. You know, it's basically, so you can keep it real simple. Avoid protein, go as high on the fruit as possible, and you'll see, you just keep trugging along. You know, you just have to get focused and stay steady with it, and you won't be denied. Every day you'll get better and better. Your skin will start looking better. Everything starts cleaning up. You start feeling better. You start feeling lighter and lighter and lighter. You start feeling happier and more joyful. Awesome.
I used to get blueberries. I used to get blueberries a lot, and you know, they were almost like a candy to me, and I would freeze them. And then if I got hungry, because I was a snacker, I tried to break my snack from getting away from eating junk food. So I would, you know, take blueberries out of the freezer and eat them kind of like a popsicle kind of thing, because I'd freeze them, but it was like a snack. And so, but I stopped doing it for a while because they were so high in carbs. But I loved the blueberries. So I wasn't, you know, I just kind of wondered if blueberries are healthy.
Yeah, according to Dr. Morse, berries are the king of all fruits, and fruit are the king of all foods. So once you're into berries, you're at the top of the pinnacle. But again, the key is just to make sure you try to find good ripe fruit, you know, naturally ripe if at all possible. That's really our challenge, if anything. But yeah, and in my own experiences with the berries, I've had tremendous success with stage 4 chronic cancer clients, and scenarios where nothing else worked, only berries worked. Like literally, we got down to where there was nothing else that would work. And berries, they respond. Well, fruits, they would respond on fruits, but particularly the berries. So it's not kind of nice to know. It's like you don't have to have the berries, but sometimes you need that. You know, you need that extra little vigor and that extra kick. So it's kind of nice to know where to go. You know, so I'm not saying you always have to only eat berries, not at all, but it's just kind of nice to know about it.
But I like berries. I like berries in place of candy bars and stuff like that.
Yeah, there you go.
And it's still sweet. It's still sweet, you know, and it kind of, you know, fixes that, you know, that sugar thing that we females get into. But blueberries were always my thing, and strawberries. Blueberries and strawberries, I think, were my two biggest things. And but I cut down on, you know, eating them because the carbs were so high, you know. So yeah, you know, according to my keto diet, I was supposed to be on a low carb diet, blah blah blah. But I kind of wondered about the berries. I need to study a little bit more on the berries, because I do love strawberries and blueberries. When I get a craving, I get a sugar fix. You know, I need a sugar fix. You know, I need to know what kind of berries is safe to
One
eat.
little quick point on strawberries, only because you mentioned them real quick. Strawberries are actually more like a vegetable than a fruit. The actual strawberry is like a gigantic ovary, and all of the little seeds are tiny little berries. So you are eating berries, but you're eating more like a giant ovary with a bunch of tiny little berries. So So and I only mention that because it's not going to fit into the category of this superfood that I'm describing. That's like an anti-cancer approach, because I mean, you know, I just thought I'd mention, because when you get into vegetables, you get into glucose, and glucose trips insulin. It's a more complex, it's more complex to digest vegetables than it is to digest fruit. So if you're looking for that extra kick, you're not going to get it from strawberries. Just thought I'd mention it.
So is blueberries safe?
Oh yeah, absolutely. By the buckets. I was eating 10 pounds of blueberries a day this last summer. Actually, I got up to about 15 pounds. I was on a blueberry farm. This summer I worked on a blueberry orchard. They said, "Hey, Andy, you want to come work up here?" I said, "Just pay me in blueberries." But no, it was awesome. I was literally eating buckets of blueberries a day. It was awesome.
So when you're talking to Andy, when you're talking about acidosis, is that like, so they gave me omeprazole, which is like an anti, you know, like a Tums almost, like, to help stop they were saying my kidney was calcifying, which was creating into turning into the cyst I was talking about. Yep. And I stopped with the omeprazole, that crap. I was like, okay, I have a really bad feeling about this. I'm gonna stop taking it. I took it for a week and I stopped. So are you saying like the blueberries would really help, or like the fruit, like you're talking about, would really help with the inflammation with the esophagus?
It'll handle all of that. Absolutely. The issue is this, I'll just put it real simple. The kidneys get over, because you know the acids are on their way out via the lymph system, making their way to the kidneys to be peed out in the urine. When your kidneys get overwhelmed, they get inflamed and scarred, and it blocks the flow of acids out of the body coming from the lymph nodes. And so then the acids back up like a toilet that doesn't flush anymore. And so you have what's called interstitial acidosis, where the whole body from head to toe is full of its own sewage, is basically what it is, because the kidneys can no longer, the doorway is blocked. So what happens when you eat the fruits, it goes in there and it starts to neutralize all these acids, which allows the kidneys to relax and the inflammation to come down and to heal the scarring on the kidneys. So you start peeing again. The problem is you're not peeing effectively. So you've got 100 trillion cells that are going potty 24/7, right? They're still going to the bathroom, but you can't get it out because your kidneys have gotten inflamed. And so then everything backs up. And then what happens is you start breaking at your genetic weaknesses, wherever you're, because you're head to toe full of acids. So it's a matter of where you're going to break at your weak link. So everybody has all kinds of different inflammation responses because we all have such varying different genetics. And so based on your genetics, your weak links are going to be where they are, you know, and you see what you're up against. It sounds like you're losing bone density. I guarantee if you're calcifying on the kidneys, you're losing bone density. And the reason you're losing bone density is because of the interstitial acidosis. The only reason you're clear full of acids is because you stopped peeing. That's the problem. And you're not the only
able
one.
to know what this is, but when I go to the doctor, they do 20 million tests and don't even know what the F they're talking about. And then they put me on all these medicines like, oh, this will help.
I call it willful ignorance.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah. So the beauty of this,
runs on my grandma's side. Yeah.
Desiree, real quick, let me just convey this. Catch the essence of the beauty of the simplicity of this. Cut the proteins out, go high on fruit, and enjoy the ride. It's the ride of a lifetime.
Right. And what I see too is, you know, you spoke of many medications, and I don't know if you're going to one doctor or more, but what I have found with a friend of mine back in Oklahoma, I found that, you know, you can take too many things at one time that build toxicity. I mean, it becomes toxic on your body. So whatever you're taking for this, and this, it's going to become toxic on your body. So it sounds like you need, like, you know, do a toxic cleanse type thing, because you got so much crap going on. You know, you're taking so many meds, it's going to go toxic, and your kidneys, your liver are going to be the first one that get hit, you know. So I follow Andy 100%, because it's like, you know, what I'm hearing from Des is that, you know, you're taking quite a few meds, and I'm hearing, I don't know how long you've been taking them or anything like that, but it sounds to me like a lot of this stuff is becoming toxic on your body. And that's why it's also affecting your moods, how you feel, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I've been taking them for about, the seizure medicines for about since September last year. and then the depression, anxiety since this time the last year.
So the combination of all of them together, you know, I don't know how long you're taking them, but some meds, most doctors don't have you taking more than 6 months. Now, what I found out about some people are going to this specialist, or you're going to this specialist for this, you're going to this specialist for that. And the other doctor doesn't know what the other doctor is giving you. So you've got these different doctors giving you all this stuff, and the other doctor doesn't even know what you're taking. So they're just prescribing what they see, you know, that's going on with you. Then another doctor prescribes something. And so what's happening, what I'm seeing is you've got these different doctors giving you stuff, and the other doctor doesn't even know what you're taking. So this is creating a toxic thing on your body. And like Andy said, it can affect your kidneys, everything, you know.
So yeah, another question I have is, if you were taking a medication, could it block spiritual growth?
Sure, absolutely. There's certain, like if you're taking depression medication, it can block it. It will numb you. I mean, think about it. A lot of, like, you know, I can't even remember some of the drug they give for you know, depression, that sort of thing. But yeah, it can numb your brain. It can numb your whole everything. It can keep you from being the person that you want to be.
Can I share something? I haven't ever shared this with the group. I was medically discharged from the Army in 1985. At the time, it was like a dream come true for me. I was a radio and television DJ. I played in a really popular local band, and I had a really great girlfriend who I was in love with. And then before I knew it, my entire life, everything got jerked out from under me. You know, my career went south, my health went south, and my heart was destroyed. And so when I hit home again, I sank into such a clinical depression that I went to the VA. And I mean, they were pumping me full of, oh my God, everything. I mean, just a cocktail. And all it did was make me a zombie.
Big pharma.
It didn't help me at all. I mean, it did, you know, I guess they didn't want you to feel your emotions. And so they just basically turn you into nothing, no emotions whatsoever, you know? And I mean, you get to a point when you live your life totally flat, it's just not worth living. And so, you know, I mean, here it is. My goodness, you know, my spiritual awakening actually started then, but I kind of got off onto the wrong path, you know, because I was, you know, able to affect reality sometimes in ways that I didn't expect. And it was like a toy I was playing with, and that's not the way to use that kind of stuff, right? So anyway, led me to a real dark place, but eventually, you know, understood the only person who's ever going to cure me is me. You know, I'm the one who has to cure. And so I went ahead, got my degree, and the next thing I know, I'm living a life that I couldn't believe. I've been all over the world working for the government, you know. Now, yeah, I was a government drone, but you know what? Paid the bills, and I got to travel, and I got to help people because I did video, and I always tried to do videos about things that would help people. Like, you know, my last job, I did DOD commercials for things like PTSD, you know, and prescription medication addiction and things like that, where you kind of have to become a little bit of an expert, mental, you know, just know enough to be dangerous. But the point I'm trying to make is that the brain can actually heal itself. You know, like when I graduated college in '89, back then we were taught that if your brain was damaged and if the wiring was too short circuited, there was no way it could, you know, once you reach a certain age, your brain is set and it's not going to change, right? Once you reach like 13 or 14, your brain starts becoming what it is and all your experiences or whatever. But now they know that's not true. The brain, like any other organ of the body, can heal. And, you know, it's called neuroplasticity. It's something that I, you know, and since I've learned this, I've gotten into the spiritual path and learning to go deep within myself, you know, and understanding that, you know, from day one, I've never been, I'm kind of like you, Desiree. I don't remember being born, but I remember something that actually happened to me when I was like 9 months old in diapers. And I mean, I remember it. I can remember it, you know.
Wow.
A lot of things happened in my life that didn't really make sense because I was just kind of remembering things that I shouldn't have, you know. And like you, I was, oh my God, he's strange. He's mentally ill. And, you know, as a child, even they started loading me up with, you know, ADHD pills, like whatever they gave you in 1961. Who knows? It might have been morphine, you know, I don't know. But the brain can heal itself. And, you know, just don't lose hope. I mean, that's the thing, you know.
Exactly.
I mean, just don't lose hope,
and make sure
look outside of medicine, because we all know all big pharma wants to do is keep you addicted to the drugs for your disease. That's true. I mean, I'm a diabetic. Yeah, I'm a diabetic.
That's true.
You know,
it's all about money.
They invented insulin. They invented insulin in 1921. The guys that invented it gave it away for free. They didn't patent it. They said, here, this will cure this deadly disease, because before 1921, diabetics, the only thing they could do was starve themselves to death, and nobody lived past like 30, you know? Well, guess what? Now the big pharma has their hands in insulin. You know how expensive insulin is? Especially if you don't have medical insurance, like I was for a while. And I mean, Desiree, you know, they took away your assistance just when you freaking needed it the most, you know? I mean, big pharma, big government, but you know, don't give up hope, girl, cause
exactly.
You know,
but I always say to
Desiree, you heal yourself, and all this big pharma. I mean, I really think all the dark stuff, the schemes and whatever, that's all going to be exposed and come tumbling down. And I think we can all actually heal ourselves. That's what I really think.
Thanks to him.
We believe.
Thanks to him.
I think it's from my line of like depression is like being alive during this time is the hardest part I've ever experienced. I feel like I do belong here, but I don't, because I feel, like I said earlier, I feel crunched down. I just want to move to like Hawaii or like an ocean front and just like live on the ocean front, live off the land with berries and fruits and just, you know, not deal with people and just
come to New Mexico. Come to New Mexico.
That's my dream, you know, and I think that's where my depression comes in, because I'm such an empath.
I'm gonna do like Don. I think I'm gonna transition into the RV lifestyle in the next year. I mean, I'm gonna give up apartment living, and I'm just gonna hit the road.
I love it.
Go see the places you know, we chat. I've messaged you. You know, we're Facebook friends, Desiree. You know, and I told you my bucket list. My goodness, this summer. Oh, I can't wait to get out to the Grand Canyon. I've been waiting to see that with my own eyes my entire life. You know.
Heck yeah, I'm a full-time RVer. I became a full-time RVer in 2014. I gave up my home, everything, because I was so miserable at the time. You know, and I had to get myself back. Yeah. You know, I couldn't focus. I was living in the city. I couldn't focus, surrounded by all the chaos, the negativity. And I'm like, I'm done. I sold everything I had, got rid of my home, I got an RV, moved to the mountains of New Mexico. And now I'm out here. I've been here since 2014. I haven't set an alarm clock since 2014. And my alarm clock at 5 o'clock are the wolves across the street. I live across the street from a wolf sanctuary, by the way, so y'all know. And that is my alarm clock. But I'm grounded. I'm more grounded. I'm more focused. And for the first time in my life, I have been able to focus, really focus, and get my life back. I know who I am now. Because when I was out there living in Chicago, in Las Vegas, I mean, all you do is work. All you do is work. You have no time for you. You have no time to focus on you. And you need to get you back. And, you know, another thing is you need to let each doctor know hey, doc, this is what I'm taking for this, you know, for the depression. And then tell the other doctor, this is what I'm taking for this. What's it doing being combined together? Is it really messing me up? Sure it is. I mean, you know, it is. It's obviously messing you up. And you can get off that stuff. I mean, everybody here where I live, we're all on, you know, everybody smokes pot or CBD oil, everything. Everybody that does stuff out here is organic. everything's from nature and the fruits and berries. And, you know, everybody lives off the land. We live off the land. And I just, you know, I'm a full-time RVer. I love it. And it was hard the first 6 months that I did it. I'm not going to lie. I mean, it was a hard first 6 months. I came out here, no running water, no electricity, but my RV had a generator. So we had heat and that sort of thing. Eventually we got some electricity, but still to this day, since 2014, I have no running water. I go next door around the sanctuary area. We have water wells, and we bottle our water and bring it home. I have 2 coffee pots, one for coffee and one for hot water to do dishes. And, you know, that's how I live. And I've been doing it ever since. And, you know, I encourage anyone that wants to get out of the chaos of the city life to go that route, because you'll be so much happier. And living out here with the wildlife, I mean, I got wild coyotes running everywhere, elks, you know, we got mountain lions, bears. I haven't seen a bear yet, but we have mountain lions and everything up here in the mountains. And it's kind of like living like Grizzly Adams, if you ever saw that TV show. And I never, you know, when I was a kid, I used to always watch Grizzly Adams. And I thought, oh, how cool that would be to live like him. And I thought, oh, you know, it's just a TV show. It's a fantasy type thing. But now I'm 62 years old and I'm doing it. And I can't think of living any other way. I really can't. It's just so subliminal. You know, I'm grounded, and I just think everyone needs to try it. At least try it to see if it's for you. You know, take a week or two, a month, whatever, and just go to the wilderness and stay in the woods and just, you know, get away from all the chaos, the sirens, everything, and just be one with Mother Nature and just try it. Just try it. Give it a chance. And I know right now, after being out here since 2014, I could never live in the city again. I just can't. And I'm healthier. When I lived in Illinois, I had the flu all the time. Since I moved out west, I mean, I do have asthma, COPD, but not once since I moved out west have I ever had the flu. Not once. So something to think about.
Well, Greg, I have a question for you. Do you have any articles about the fruit detox, or like going out in nature and, like she said, doing things like that so everybody else can read upon? And, you know,
that would be a great article to have on a
not even
detox.
like hear about my story, but to, you know, also go towards what, you know, we're all talking about here, and anybody who's going to do the same thing as I am, or like anybody else is, and you know, find out how they can do the fruitarian. Like I'm gonna take everybody's opinion and try it out. I'm gonna do as best as I can.
And we also have opinion yet.
Hang on, time out. I haven't spoken here in like an hour.
Let Greg talk.
First of all, I do agree with what Gary said about the neuroplasticity. There's a great on Gaia TV. There's a guy named Ben Stewart. He has a show called Limitless, and he talks about neuroplasticity. Your brain, you can teach an old dog to do new tricks, and you can make those connections through there. Another thing I want to just say real quick is a shout out to Drew Hurst on the chat for the super chat. Thank you for that. Also, I just shout out to Kevin, who just ordered a shirt from California. It'll be going out tomorrow. Desiree, make sure you check out the chat, because there are a gajillion other wonderful suggestions there too, as well as the chat here on Zoom. People have been making suggestions.
I haven't seen it. I've been so focused on everybody's options, and I love everybody so much. And if somebody else is going through this, I'm with you. Everybody completely understands everything, and you know, I consider you all star family. You know, even though we're all from different galaxies, you know, we're here on Earth for a reason, and I'm understanding it. And I feel if anybody's going through this medical, like, you know, like the medicine, you know, how it just kind of flips, it just makes the neurons change. So I'm with you. I completely understand, and I'm sorry for
Well,
the
come out to
breakdown. I
New
never
Mexico.
talk about anything but like that, but I never break down. I always hold my stuff in, and I always paint and do that, but this time was the only time I broke down.
Well, Desiree, come out to New Mexico sometime, and I'll show you around, man. I'll show you the ropes, and you'll be so chilled you won't want to leave. Guarantee it. You'll love it out here.
So beautiful. The earth is so
beautiful
She
here.
guided me so much.
You would love it here. Nothing like Illinois, let me tell you what.
Oh.
Get
It's
out of the
amazing.
cornfield, girl. Get out of the
It's amazing
cornfield.
the group of people that we have here tonight, and just all the right people just happen to be here to contribute everything to make everything come full circle. It's just a beautiful process. You have lots of family. Everyone.
But we care. Yeah. You know, we care, and we can relate to each other in so many ways. And I totally get what Desiree what she's going through right now and why she's going through it. And it's like,
and there's other people going through
dude, let me show you.
Yeah, that are watching this on the live, or perhaps a month or two or a year from now they're going through this, and it's going to be helping other people as well. So
yeah, and it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see people like Desiree, once she gets a taste, out here of Mother Nature, see how she is within a year, how much something like this can really change a human's life. It's amazing, Des, let me tell you. It's totally amazing. You'll never regret it. I encourage anyone, to come out, to the mountains and just chill out. Come see the wolves, and I'll set you up. Just, get grounded and have fun and stress release. Just get out of the chaos of the city.
Yeah, I live in the middle of the woods, and I see birds and I talk to them, and people are probably like, "Oh, that girl's crazy," but I'll be like, "Oh, look."
Hey, come on! I talk to Sasquatch, and you can't say
we talk to Sasquatch. Yeah. So anybody who understands about our nature stuff,
I'll tell you what, I can totally relate to animals better than I can relate to humans. Totally.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I can talk to the animals, and it's like they understand.
Animals and kids.
Yep.
I like animals better than kids.
I would say I would say probably over half of us can relate to the critters and Mother Nature and all the wildlife better than we can relate to humans. Totally. I know I can.
Oh, you got a toy. Okay.
Yeah, I love my kids and I love my grandkids, but I have to say, animals are nicer.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And they listen.
Yeah.
They may not understand you, but they're more compassionate, and they don't talk back, and they listen.
I can't say that.
And that's what's cool.
Desiree on the YouTube, Phil saying, Desiree, much love, and let me know because I'm glad to help, and thank you for the super chat, Phil. But you got a lot of people here reaching out their hands to help you.
It's awesome.
There's so many people here that are.
You're not alone, girlfriend. You're not alone.
Gathering, everyone.
That's why I love talking to okay, I love the younger generation, but they don't understand the spiritual stuff like we're all going through. So I've been leaning towards the older generations. Like
I'm a great grandma. Come on out.
Yes, I love hearing stories from grandmothers, grandfathers, older people that are like my parents' age, or like even someone a couple years older than me, because I put my philosophies together by hearing other people's stories, and that's where I'm able to correlate, like what Andy was saying, like he got me faster than my own doctors did. I'm like, whoa, like I talk to them, they give me depression medicine and send me to a psychiatrist saying, oh, you're crazy.
Desiree, now that you mentioned depression, that was the one thing I wanted to mention to you. Two points real quick. I don't want to take up a ton of time. I know Greg was getting to some stuff there, but just real quick was on your pituitary. I was going to ask you, are you having problems with sleep by chance? Yeah, you've got a significant pocket of acidosis on your pituitary gland, which is the master gland. It controls all the other glands, and the glands control the organs. So when the pituitary starts to go down, it's like a systemic kind of effect on the body. And that's why you'll feel depressed, because your whole world is not functioning correctly. So, and again, that'll come out with the same thing, fruit, and keep the proteins low. It's the proteins that cause the acidosis to begin with. But the other one was also thyroid, and that's where the depression's coming from. It's definitely thyroid. There's some significant pocket of acidosis in the thyroid. So understand, a whole lot of this is a chemical problem. It's a chemical pH issue. It's not that you're not spiritual and you're not thinking happy thoughts or anything like that. But when your body is succumbing to acidosis and you're falling apart, it's hard to feel too happy, you know?
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
so
I
and
have
the beauty of it is that it'll
lumps,
all
so
come away
yeah.
naturally. As you draw the acids out, you'll buoy up like a cork, like pulling a cork underwater, and it just springs to the surface naturally. That's what happens to you. Remember what I was saying about peeing? Right now, you're not peeing very good. You're probably peeing mostly water, you know? And so as soon as you start peeing good, just like a cork spring into the surface, all of a sudden you'll just buoy right up and you'll be like, I'm so joyful. Let's have fun, you know? And you didn't have to go to therapy. You didn't have to get fixed. You were never broken. You know what I mean? It's like, that's the cool thing about it. So the fruit detox is a journey of a lifetime, because you get liberated on so many levels that you just, and none of it you didn't plan for any of it. You just cooperated by putting the right stuff in. And then all of a sudden, just watch the clouds literally part. That's the only way I can describe it. It's like the rain clouds part and the sun comes out and you're just like, wow, life is good, you know? So just thought I'd mention that on that pituitary, because that might help explain some of the struggle that you were having that would be otherwise unexplainable, you know? So
will it help with like lymph node lumps?
With what?
Lymph node lumps?
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's exactly why they're there. Yeah.
Because I have some lumps on my leg.
Lumps and bumps, baby. That's what it's all about. When the kidneys go down, it's all about lumps and bumps, lumps and humps and bumps. Here they come.
I told my doctor about it, and they're like, oh, well, we'll probably have to do a biopsy, and it's probably nothing. And I'm like, what is going on with me? And I'm like,
it's just, all it is your kidneys got to
get out of Illinois.
Yeah, it's the whole, it's like, yeah, it's surrounding the sacral. Yeah, it's everything. You're right. But
it is because it's head to toe.
My pressure, I've been drinking nothing but water and trying to do like a cleanse. And there's this, I don't know, the Schumann resonance, when it pops up, I'm okay. But when it's like steady, I'm a mess. I don't know why, but the energy, I felt like my third eye was like, blah, like huge. Like,
hey, a quick
my
point
brain
on water.
was on fire.
And she brought up the water real quick, just a real quick point on water. We don't advise it with Dr. Morrison, the naturopathy that we do not advise drinking a lot of water. You don't want to drink ahead of thirst. Just drink at your natural thirst command, and don't go ahead of that, because realistically, when you have acidosis, you're low on bicarbonates. So what you don't want to be doing is flushing your electrolytes and bicarbonates out by drinking too much water. It doesn't help at all. It's not a water problem. It's a pH problem. Remember this, your issue is a pH problem, period. It's that simple. Don't get confused with all the craziness out there. It is literally as simple as a pH problem. And fruit will naturally adjust your pH to its natural parameters. You've just swung way over onto the acidic side of the scale because of the kidney failure. So as soon as you go back on the fruits, it'll just come right on back naturally. And the cool thing about fruit is it's going to do it in the most gentle and appropriate order. Your body will pick the correct order, and it'll do everything in the correct way. You don't have to be some big genius that saves your world. You know, you just cooperate with the God force and watch the mirror. And it's amazing. Seriously. It's like, that's how easy it really is. And you get taken on this. It is emotional, because you'll have emotional detox. You'll have physical detox. You're going to go on a ride, but it's a beautiful ride, because as I say, every single day just gets better and better and better. And you start to feel more joyful and lifted. So it's a pH issue. So it's not so much like, you know, they'll say, drink plenty of water, you're dehydrated. Yeah, you're dehydrated because acids are hot like the sun. They're burning you up and dehydrating you, you know. But water, think about it, the acids are stored in the oils and fats of your body. So if you pour water on an oily acid, it's not going to do much, right? Because the oil and the water are separate. So you're sitting here trying to drink water to cure your dehydration, but all the acids are stored in the fats. And so the water's not doing anything to put the fire out. You see what I'm saying? So it's actually you need alkaline chemistry to come in with the fruit to neutralize the acidosis. And once the acidosis is neutralized, your body will naturally rehydrate itself. So be careful about too much water. That can actually be very dangerous. So just go with your natural thirst drive.
And what galaxy did you come from? Because you're amazing.
Oh no, you know more than me on that.
I bet he's from Orion.
he feels like, yeah, soul brother, man. You've got some really high energy. I love it.
Desiree,
I love you all.
If you
Desiree, you guys hold
Karen.
on a minute. Desiree, I took notes. I'll email you all the notes from all the references from this chat. So
yeah, we'll get together because I have to
yeah,
cancel my
I'm just
doctor's
saying,
appointments for right now. Yeah.
you'll get an email in the morning with all the references from the chat. So don't worry about this chat.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay,
I'll
I'm off
definitely email and talk to you about it because I have to cancel all my doctor's appointments because medical card or I got kicked off of it, so I can't go to doctor's appointments right now.
Yeah, well,
fun life, huh?
God works in mysterious ways.
Yeah, and I was brought here for a reason, and Andy and everybody was here for a reason. I love you all. Like, you are all.
You need to plan a road trip to New Mexico out here.
Earlier, Kaylin Ryan was saying she was wondering if this might have been a blessing, and I was thinking about that when I drew this card, and it's the Page of Wands, and this blesses the reading with good fortune, basically, and it's an enthusiasm, exploration. There's a lot of positive things on this card, and to me, it was the confirmation that this is a blessing. It's something that it had to happen. Congratulations.
Well, I hope whoever else is listening to this and has issues like, me, can understand and, take notes from this too and know that, you're not alone. I'm here with you. And I see myself within all of you. Like, I am grateful for Star Family. You
and
all.
Laket Shalakin. We are you. We're all you.
Namaste.
Yeah. Yes.
Namaste right here.
And Greg, you do tarot? You do tarot readings?
Just occasionally. I don't do it every day. I see we have a friend of mine, Quirky Cosmos, in the YouTube.
Oh, I would love to have a night just to do tarot readings for everybody. I mean, I would love to have a tarot reading by you. I think it'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, I honestly, I don't have the time to do it for everybody, but yeah.
I get it.
I'll do it. I'll do it on a rare occasion for people that really request it and have issues. I'll do that. But
okay,
I honestly don't have the time, and that's all about boundaries, setting up my boundaries.
I get it.
All right.
I'm a Libra, just so you know.
Okay.
The only reason I asked that is because I wanted to know who Libras are compatible with.
No, fellow air signs and fire signs, obviously. Yeah.
Yeah.
My daughter's
I'd like
Leo.
to know more about it.
My daughter's Leo. My air feeds her fire. So it could be the other way around. I mean, it could be incompatible. It depends. As well, that fire might not be the fire you want to be cooking with.
True. I get you. I get it.
Yeah.
Had to ask.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. So, you know what? I think we're going to wrap it up here. We got a lot accomplished tonight, and I want to thank everyone for joining us here. And it was so timely of everyone being here, and everybody's contributions. Thank you, Andy, and everyone else that has made their contributions to help Desiree. Should I call you Desiree or Jupiter?
Either way, I don't really care.
We know her by Desiree.
We know you by Desiree.
Yeah, I gotta change that name on there, but Jupiter's just my sign. I'm Sagittarius, So I did read all the comments, and I loved every single one of you. I will take everything that I can, to cleanse out and, just start from small things. But for right now, I'm gonna wait on the medication, or I'm gonna keep taking the seizure medication and talk to the doc, and then try to correlate how I can get down off of it, because that can really mess you up.
But be sure to let each doctor know what you're taking, so they're not cross, medicating, because it can be contaminating. I mean,
well, I'm only going to take the medication for the seizure, and that's all I'm going to take. And I'm getting rid of the depression medicine. I'm doing exactly what everybody said. So whoever else is going through this, I advise you to listen to everybody and listen to Andy. And maybe this is a good way for you to write a new article, Greg. So more inspiration for you. I love every single one of you. You guys are amazing. I don't care who you are on this channel. You are a life supporter. If it wasn't for you,
Well, we're all in this together, and when one of us is down, we're all down. In La Catch Alakin, I am another you, you are another me. So this is how we all work together. It's part of the magic of it. So we'll probably be back on, I don't know, probably tomorrow night. Not promising yes or no or whatever, but if you guys decide, if you would like to support this channel, be sure to check out in5d.net for cool tie-dye shirts, or patreon.com/in5d. And check us out there. So I guess until the next time, I'm signing off. This is Greg from in5d.com and in5d.net, sending you all infinite love and light. Namaste.
Namaste.
Good night, Greg.
Good night, everybody. We love you, Desiree. Namaste.